Hello and welcome to the Games Done Quick Hotfix, and welcome to Out of the Box, the show that believes that if you can watch a speedrun, you can run it. My name is Atitree, and tonight's theme, as some people in chat have already noticed, was picked out by the other showrunner for this evening, Satan herself. She decided she wanted to have on some awesome Mario and Sonic racing games, so I got to thinking, okay, I could do something with this. How about side games that maybe aren't side games in the Mario and Sonic series? So I brought on one game that I'm personally very familiar with, and I think a lot of you will be as well, and one game that we might all learn a lot more about. But first, for the evening, it's time to touch fuzzy and get dizzy with a warpless run of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island with Fiona. Fiona, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I'm ready to go.
All right, and I know you have someone here on your virtual couch with you.
Yes, I'm Icterus440. Excited for the run.
Awesome, great. We are ready to send the run whenever you are ready. So would you like me to count you in?
I'll do the countdown. I'm gonna count down. I'm gonna count down from 5, and then timer start on go. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thanks.
All right, so for what story there is in this game, shall we get into it during the opening cutscene here?
Yeah. So basically, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Baby Mario fell off. I think like a stork was carrying him to the parents' house or whatever. Fell off the bag. Now he's on an island.
Yes, indeed. And while it is a dangerous island filled with many strange and fantastical things, it's also filled with friendly Yoshis, who are only occasionally dangerous.
Yeah, so it's basically an escort mission where the Yoshis are carrying Baby Mario to the end of the level and handing him off to the next Yoshi. They're trying to get to Bowser's castle to save Luigi.
I guess, since we're handing off to a different Yoshi stage, you could kind of consider this game one long relay race.
It really
Whoa.
is. Uh-oh.
My controller is disconnected.
All right, we got our party foul for the evening out of the way nice and early, so everything else will go real smooth.
Hopefully.
So we're intended to skip this beanstalk, but that didn't quite go as planned. You can bounce off of most enemies in this game and get what we call an extended flutter, where Yoshi kicks his feet and gains a few tiles of height. We'll use that quite a few times to skip things.
Yeah,
Just like that, we're out of one.
I think that's a pretty good omen.
That's fair. I think many players will have realized that you can do that. I think some of the level structure of early levels in games like this, in games like Super Mario World, are intended to give you a very good playground to play with the mechanics, and knowing that if you time your jumps and bounce off enemies in just such a way you can get extra height and skip some platforming is really
Speaking of
something. Let's see it. Wow,
That one's definitely not intended.
No, I would say not.
So that is a frame-perfect trick where you spit the daisy on the very last frame before you're too close to the wall to spit it. And it kind of clips into the wall and you can land on it if you have the right momentum.
That was terrific. That was really impressive.
Yeah, it's really impressive to get that first try.
Surprised I got it first try. I feel like I don't know, getting my second wind after that controller disconnect.
Yeah.
I have literally never had my controller disconnect before.
That is interesting. The first time for everything.
We also got a That's Never Happened Before super early in the show. Terrific. Really hitting all the traditional GDQ and Hotfix marks here right at the beginning.
Fiona's intentionally avoiding the slopes because upward and downward slopes slow Yoshi down. So if you have to land on the slope, you want to just jump off immediately.
Oh, fascinatingly unintuitive that downward slopes are actually slower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
different than a lot of other games.
Very weird quirk of this game.
naturally, I think a lot of casual players and viewers will be familiar broadly with the score system and the idea that, when you play this game casually, you're shooting for high scores. You want to make sure you finish each stage with lots of stars and go into all of the other sections of the stage, either bonus areas or hit all of the interactables to get extra red coins and flowers. Is there any reason to do any of that in the course of this Warpus run?
There's actually a reason not to do that, because tallying up the scores at the end of each level will take some time. And in particular, the first red coin and the first flower will lose you half a second. So if you can avoid all the red coins, we usually go for it. And if you can avoid all the flowers, we go for that.
Makes sense.
Some levels, it's unavoidable, though.
Yeah, like right there, it would just take too much time to avoid all those coins. We also try to avoid the save ring, which you're going to see in just a second here. It's actually going to bounce on this bird guy to jump over that ring with all the stars. Will freeze your game for about 2 seconds.
Yep, because it has to give you the stars back if you're missing them and all that stuff.
Yeah. It might take a couple safety save rings at some point, but
no, I don't need those.
I don't think we'll need. Surely you'll take the one before 5-4 skip.
Yeah, I probably will.
This is Bert the Bashful. This might be one of 2 or 3 bosses whose names I remember.
Yeah. Bert the Bashful, you basically want to just shoot him as soon as his invulnerability timer's over, and his pants just gradually come down. A little weird for a kid's game.
It was the 90s.
And just like that, he's gone. And that animation before the explosion where he flies around the room is actually RNG.
Jeez.
You can lose 2 seconds or more if you get bad RNG. A random annoying thing for speedrunners.
Fantastic.
It haunted me when I was grinding World 1 individual world runs.
I believe it.
And we are on to our first auto-scroller. Really not too much to say about this, except she's trying to avoid the red coins and flowers again.
Sure, makes sense. And I imagine as a runner, you do have to stay at least a little bit active, because much like in Mario World, those donut blocks only hang where they are for so long if you stay on top of them.
Yeah, they do start falling down. You also want to try to not get hit, because when you take damage, you lose Baby Mario. He kind of flies around. And when you grab him back, the game freezes for a little less than a half second.
Speaking of things that are RNG, is the angle at which Baby Mario flies off, is that determined by your motion when you get hit, or is that also RNG?
It's definitely dependent on which way you're facing, but there might be some RNG to it too. There's not really enough strats where you intentionally take damage for us to...
Fair. No one's had cause to lab that out. That makes sense.
Yeah. There is one intentional damage boost in this run, but pretty much grab Baby Mario right away.
Is there really only one?
I like. There's 2. 1 in 3-1 and 1 in 2-2.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other.
Hey, while you are looking forward to those, I'll let you know that if you are looking forward to what's coming up on Hotfix this week, or if you're interested in running on the GDQ stage, you can check out this week's schedule and submit your runs to be showcased at gdq.gg/hotfix. There is a tiny optimization that you can do at the end of this level where if you hit the right edge of the screen with momentum just before the goal ring comes on screen, you can kind of flip into the screen wall and grab the ring a couple frames earlier, but it's not really worth going for because it's so precise and barely saves any time.
Finally out of the auto-scroller.
Finally back to some game.
Time to play the video game again. Yeah, Fiona and I were talking earlier, especially for some of the stages later on where there are longer flatland sections that are expected to trip you up as they throw things at you. Like watching Yoshi's Island play this much of a point A to point B game, especially when you are running through cycles of enemies, and that feels almost like a different game. It feels like watching something foreign because, as I described earlier, this game casually, or if you're running 100%, is all about getting to different spots to collect objects, grab power-ups, etc. And this category does very little, in fact, as little as possible of that. But watching it in motion is genuinely surprising at how well it can move with a talented player.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very exploration and maze-based game casually, but you don't really see that. Fiona did just use another extended flutter to skip another beanstalk in that cave room just before the end. We are on to everyone's favorite level. This is called Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy. And you can probably guess what happens if you touch the fuzzy.
You know, it's funny. I said the cave music was probably the one that I had stuck in my head, but now that we're here, it's all the distorted version of this music. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it's so good. So we try to avoid these fuzzies because they do freeze the game for like about 20 frames, and they turn your entire world into a bunch of slopes, which makes it harder to go fast. And if you hit the slopes the wrong way, it can kill all your slopes. But it's hard to avoid all of those because usually you want to use eggs and throw eggs at the fuzzies to get them out of the way, but you can only afford to use one egg there. Because we need to save them for the next level. And the fuzzy spawns are all RNG, by the way. Completely random as far as we know. We are on to Salvo the Slime's Castle. The last level in World 1. This next room we're going to be doing some camera manipulation to try to get the camera really high by jumping on these platforms at just the right time. That'll let her shoot that egg and hit the switch. There's a switch off screen that you didn't even see, but when you hit it, it made that green platform with the spikes spin around. And we like to call these arrow platforms cookies. But you're supposed to ride them and they'll move in the direction the arrow's facing, but it's faster to just grab them and use them as a little portable platform.
Oh man, that's on me for never thinking of that. I went to so many parties with gamer nerd friends. I totally could have made cookies with that pattern on them. That would have been great.
That would be cool.
Honestly, I don't know like the origins of people calling them cookies.
Yeah, that's a really old one.
I don't know if there's anything deep behind it. It's just kind of they're cookie shaped.
Sure. Yeah. It sounds better than arrow platform. So this is one of the hardest bosses, by the way. We're just glossing over it here. His movement is kind of random, and he spits out little slimes randomly. And you want to just pelt him with eggs until he dies.
Yeah, I would say you did an excellent job of that, in that it was done before we had time to explain.
Yeah, it's a quick fight if you do it well.
Chat mentions that the idea of cookies being a thing in Yoshi is also, intentionally or otherwise, a good oblique reference to Yoshi's Cookie, the puzzle game.
Oh, true. So it is possible to skip this cutscene by just hitting the reset button on your console, but that is unfortunately banned in Warbless. This is basically the no-nonsense category, so no resetting.
You pick up the game and you play the game, just like anyone could do. And there are lots of ways to get this game. It's been made available on Super Nintendo, the Super Famicom, which is I think what we're playing it on this evening, but it's also been available through a lot of digital download services over the years.
Yeah, you can play it on NES Classic, on Switch, maybe some others. A lot of different places.
And hey, look, it's a crossover with Tetris. I don't think any of these pieces are the right shape, but
you guys were talking. We missed a major skip, or not really major, but a skip that I just did to. It was the pipe glitch. That's what it's called. It's called a pipe glitch, where if you jump on the same frame that you go down the pipe, Yoshi will skip the going down the pipe animation. And ordinarily it would save about half a second, but sometimes you can make it send you to not where it's supposed to send you because of Yoshi's position being not in the right spot. And in that case, all I did was just skip a little bit of movement to reach the auto scroller room. Saved like 2 seconds or something like that.
Something like that.
Hey, that didn't match up with what you told me when we were getting ready. You said everything in this game saves either a half a second or 1 second. You can't just go saving 2 seconds at a time.
Shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, it feels like a
Right?
cheat, honestly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you just hit it happens any pipe in the game that doesn't spawn an enemy and you can go down, you can hit down and B on the same frame and it'll do that little pipe glitch thing.
Nice. Definitely sounds like a trick that our viewers could try at home.
Yeah. It's actually easier than it sounds to press 2 buttons on the same frame. You're the most frame perfect inputs.
All right, so tell us a little more about Tutu and our catcher friends here.
This level's really hard.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but Fiona intentionally took damage because this Toady guy that she just bounced on, when you take damage and lose Baby Mario, it'll come down and try to steal Baby Mario. Oh no. Camera got stuck.
My god.
We made it. Nice. And so she actually grabbed that to do that trick where she bounced on it to get over the wall. And that skips a whole section where you grab a Baby Mario star and turn into Baby Mario and run around for a while. Here's another skip. She did a trick called a perfect flutter there to get up onto that platform before she landed on the Shy Guy. And that's where, before you start a flutter, you just let go of jump for a little bit and then repress. Depending on exactly when you do it and how long you let go, you can gain a little bit of height. Just enough to get up there. The rest of this level is just kind of running through a maze. She is gonna tongue these walls when she turns around. When Yoshi tongues the wall, he instantly loses all his speed. So it's the fastest way to turn around. Is to lose all your speed and then start accelerating the other direction.
I mean, to be fair, if I just randomly stuck my tongue up against a solid object, I would not be able to keep running at the same pace I was going at before, so I get it.
That's a good point. I feel like I would still run into the wall, though.
Yeah, fair. You would conserve your momentum for the length of time between when your tongue hit the wall and when the rest of your face and body hit the wall.
Yeah. So these guys are called Gusty, and they infamously have awful hitboxes. So when you try to land on them, often you'll just take damage or go through them. That went pretty well, though. Now Fiona's showing off something called a neutral egg shot, where she actually menued at the very start of the game before 1-1 to set the egg throwing configuration to hasty, which means you just have to press A once and then let go to throw an egg. And with that configuration, if you tap A for anywhere between 1 and 7 frames, I think you get the exact same angle, which is really nice for some setups to clear out that phone. Also, that was a super good Baby Mario section.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a ridiculously good Baby Mario section. I never get that far with him.
It's really hard to get onto those red blocks. We are on to Bigger Boo's Fort. Gonna be seeing a lot of ghosts in here.
Spooky!
I say boos are cool, but what if they were bigger?
That's what you're gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see that in a little bit.
So here we have a gate hack. So you're not supposed to be able to go through that gate that way. It's a one-way gate. But if you throw an egg upward at just the right spot, Yoshi turns around for a little bit when you throw an egg up, and that lets the egg, I guess it clips through the gate a little bit. I don't know exactly how it works, but somehow it tricks the gate into thinking that it came from the other side. Gonna see a few more of those later in this run. Just like that, we're almost to the boss. But typical of boos and Mario games, they are only tangible when you're looking away from them. So to kill this guy, we have to facing away and bounce our eggs off the wall. Just take 5 shots, I believe, to knock him out.
Yeah, this is a boss that casually just makes you feel like, oh yeah, no, I understand this game's mechanics now. This is like fun and easy now that I understand what I'm doing. Definitely is one of those that makes you feel smart and like you're good at the game at this point.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's definitely the easiest boss in the game.
No, of course. That was kind of implicit beneath all that. But I feel like they kind of give it to you as a gimme to be like, all right, you know what to do with this at this point. This is this is something that Mario himself could never do. So have fun with it.
This next level is a super fun level. It pretty much speaks for itself. There's 2 shell jumps. And one of them only saves about 0.3 seconds. We'll see here. Nice. That's a pretty difficult one. Just keeps you from having to do a couple little left-rights to get through those tunnels. The second shell jump is a lot easier and saves more time because you don't have to. Otherwise, you'd have to push that chomp rock a ways, which is pretty slow. And that shot through the foam is also pretty tricky, but she's making it all look easy.
Derogatory shout-outs to the locomotive sections. Probably maybe my second least favorite, but definitely one of the transformations I don't remember enjoying.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of any of them except maybe the helicopter.
Nah, the helicopter sucks. it's so bad.
Solid vote of confidence that none of them are good compared to Yoshi and maybe Super Mario. The powered up Baby Mario. Does that count?
Yeah, Baby Mario's fun. Yeah, it's a little bit different because it's not a bubble. I wasn't really thinking of those when I said they were bad, but I like that one actually. And here we are in the Cave of the Mystery Maze, which isn't all that much of a mystery when you know where to go.
It's also not really a maze.
It's just like one little hidden passage.
Look, if you've seen 8-4 in Super Mario Brothers 2 Japan or Mario The Lost Levels, you know why Mario players and mazes don't get along super great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually really like the maze levels in this game.
Okay.
They're some of my favorite ones to speedrun.
And why's that?
I don't know. Just something about swiftly moving through a narrow canal is very satisfying to me.
Okay, yeah. It feels like once you have the knowledge and the muscle memory down, it just goes real smooth. I can understand that.
So So Fiona's going to be doing a trick called sprite overload. There's a limit of 24 sprites that can be loaded in at any given time. And using this big egg that came from a big shy guy, this big egg turns all the enemies on screen into stars. And stars, there were supposed to be bullet bills in those little holes that she walked through, but you didn't see them. But yeah, the stars don't despawn when they go off screen. They just stay loaded in for a set amount of time. And so that allows you to really overload all the sprites.
I like doing basically opposite flutters there, intentionally staying under the dropping blocks to keep as close to the next platform as possible.
Yeah, that's actually a super tight flutter. I glossed right over it, but you have to do some camera manipulation to make that even possible.
No transformations for us, please. There we go.
Yeah, you don't want to get that car. Actually, don't get any swag mobiles in this game, in this run. They're just slow.
It's true. You heard it here, folks. Dinosaur faster than car.
Definitely true in real life. Mm-hmm. I don't know, did dinosaurs go fast?
I would think they're like huge, aren't they?
Well, yeah, there's relative to body size. There's some that literally are, fast because they have enormous stature. And then there's just stuff like, if the velociraptors as depicted in stuff like Jurassic Park were actually as fast as all that, then yeah, as fast as a lot of terrestrial reptiles. If you've ever been run up on by an alligator or a crocodile, you know how terrifyingly fast some creatures can be that you wouldn't otherwise expect.
Some chain fluttering to get over that lava pit. To not lose height when you repeatedly flutter, you have to let go of the jump button for exactly 1 frame. If you let go for any longer than that, you'll lose a little bit of height. You can afford to lose some there, so it's fine, but just keep that in mind for later.
Hey, we can at least touch those flowers.
Yeah.
Closest we'll get to collecting one.
So we are shooting this pot because it is faster than pushing it. But once we run out of eggs, then we have to push it the rest of the way. Just pushing that pot, because when it falls off the edge, then you get a key. We'll need that for later. Here's our key door. A nice troll when you're playing for the first time to get there and then have to backtrack a long ways. Try to figure out where that key was at.
This is a very tricky room right here.
Yeah, this is very difficult. A lot of tricky egg shots to hit those pulleys. Okay, we're safe. And there's another cookie here, and there's a very tight window. I think that's good. To land on it and go all the way up here without having to readjust the angle.
Nice. Very
nice. And you can walk right through these bandit guys if you just tongue them. Pretty much makes them unable to grab Baby Mario. Renders them useless.
Yeah, they're kind of
course, with all the
infuriating enemies. But if you know that if you can just you can tongue them like as fast as you can, and they just will never take Baby Mario from you.
Yeah. But now we are fighting a giant flower pot, which makes sense.
Pot friend.
I guess his name is Roger, although it does not say that in the game. It's in the manual.
Does it not?
Yeah, they just calls him it's the Potted Ghost Castle is the name of the level.
Oh, I just always call him Pot Friend.
It's a good name. Also, scrolling the screen up at the end of the fight makes the pot go below the screen just a little bit sooner, and that saves like, I think around 15 frames. And we are out of World 2.
On to one of the worlds of all time.
For sure.
World 3 is... It's something.
There are a lot of monk and bud in this world, and either of those are a fun thing. Also, RNG fish. They're also not fun. But these monkeys like to grab Baby Mario, and they also like to move kind of unpredictably. So always gotta watch out for them. It is possible to avoid all the red coins in this level, but there's a very precise jump coming up.
I don't even go for it usually.
Get it. Okay.
I don't even bother with it. It's so tight.
Yeah, it's really tricky. Nice little climb, and then you just run right the rest of the level.
These monkeys aren't too bad to deal with.
Yeah, I suppose if you just run right, they usually don't bother you.
It's the ones later in this world that suck.
There is one wall of monkeys that you can't quite get through here, so yeah, she intentionally took damage, then immediately grabbed Baby Mario back. Just like, I think 0.2 seconds faster than ducking under them.
I didn't actually know it was that close. I thought it saved more than that.
Little.
All right, so when we mentioned the monkeys or the ukiki, I started thinking like, all right, did I first hear that name from like the player's guide for this game, or was it later through like Super Mario 64? And I learned a few other things while I was looking at their information on the Super Mario Wiki. Most notably that there is an ukiki as a key character in Mario Party Advance. And also that there is a character in Yoshi's Crafted World that is a mix of an ukiki and a Kong. Which, if you haven't seen the character named Ucky Kong before, I feel like you should look it up for yourself.
Ucky Kong?
I haven't played that game.
Wait, how do you spell that?
U-C-K-Y, like yucky.
Oh.
There are apparently 2 of them in all of Yoshi's Crafted World.
Fascinating.
Coming up on a very annoying level.
Yeah, there's a very annoying trick coming up in the second room here. These blue guys coming out of the water are called Neppy nuts, by the way. I have no idea how they came up with that.
I'm pretty sure it's an anagram of Neptune.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I think I have heard that. But yeah, there's a one tile high kind of tunnel that you're supposed to take a helicopter through, because Yoshi's too tall to get through it, and you can't just duck jump into it, because you can't duck jump in this game. But if you slide off the bud and then land on a monkey, then you can just barely slip in.
I think I finally figured out this trick.
Nice. First try is actually really nice. Yoshi conveniently just slides to the left.
This is the first actual transformation we've seen all run?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, besides the Baby Mario.
True.
Yeah. So you can shoot torpedoes with this thing, but it's anyone's guess where they're going to go.
I didn't know if that was going to hit that one or not.
At least when you're underwater in Mario World, in most of the cases, you have a block in your hand, which both accelerates you and gives you a projectile that you know the trajectory of.
Yeah. Or you have a cape and you can...
True.
This world also introduces us to frogs, which are also awful enemies. They have very long tongue and can just nab Baby Mario from a long ways off. There's one on this screen in particular. Okay. Fiona's gonna try to land on this frog. If you miss landing on that frog, you can get Baby Mario taken and he can go like under the stage and it can be really hard to get Baby Mario back.
Everyone has to lose a run to that at some point in their Yoshi speedrunning career.
Yeah, it's so infuriating when it happens. Speaking of frogs, this is Prince Froggy's Fort. There's a fish that, well, it didn't jump at the right time, but RNG, and sometimes you can land on it and cut out a flutter, because flutters slow you down, so it's better to try to avoid them. There's a giant pond of water up here. We used to think the fastest way to go through it was to just flutter over the whole thing, but one of the top runners of this game, former world record holder Saku, figured out that if you land at just the right spots in the water, it's actually a little bit faster.
Turns out playing the game almost kind of as intended is actually faster occasionally. Weird.
Yeah. Fiona's also intentionally making stars, which you can do by bouncing eggs off the walls and then hitting an enemy. I think she lost.
Yeah, I lost an egg.
Yeah, you're supposed to have one more egg to hit a star cloud here. But we have to grab this save ring on the last screen because you can't go around it. And if you have 30 stars...
Then it doesn't add that time from adding the extra stars. That makes sense.
Yeah, you save 8 frames for each star. It doesn't have to count up. I think we still saved a tiny bit from it. We had 22.
All right, folks. Time to post your favorite frog emotes in the chat.
By the way, my split name for this segment is Stupid Frog because I hate this guy.
This is one of the hardest fights.
This is what happens when a frog does not consider you its friend, and vice versa.
Yeah, most of the boss fights, you just have to hit the boss a set number of times, but in this fight, the amount of damage that you do to him depends on the angle and speed of the egg. So you'll see Fiona intentionally kind of throwing them at a 45-degree angle from the side while trying to avoid the acid drops. Optimally, you can do it in 5 shots, but that was 6. Still pretty nice. Very difficult to get 5.
Just glad I didn't get hit.
And our froggy friend may have something of an ulcer in the duodenum after all that. And yes, Froggy, this boss here is why I learned the word duodenum in the first place many, many years ago. Because that is what that dangly bit is.
Got a very tricky egg shot to get through this foam. Nice. The foam it interacts with eggs in really weird ways, so it can be, you often just only clear like one tile gap, the foam, and then you have to shoot another egg to get through. That worked out perfectly.
Icterus's favorite trick, by the way.
Yeah, I hate that trick. I like to grab a couple extra eggs. So nice bounce on that Shy Guy from below the screen.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, oh, was that oh, okay, that was intentional. Very nice.
Yes, it's actually pretty easy, but it looks super scary. So this level, you're intended to push a chomp rock a really long ways, and it'll give you just enough height when you stand on it to get up on a certain ledge. But that's slow, so we're gonna bounce on some rat that's a really tricky bounce. When you bounce on that rat, you can't hit the ceiling above or it'll kill your extended flutter, so you have to do like just enough of a bounce to not hit the ground during your flutter, but not too high.
Oh,
No Baxter. You can show that off later. I know you're all excited for RNG fish, so we're gonna get a bunch of those at this next level. There's a big bunch of water that you either have to flutter over or land on a bunch of fish to cut out the flutters. We hope that they jump in the right spot so that we can land on them. Some of them don't spawn in sometimes. Not great RNG, but
I think that was the worst possible RNG.
Yeah.
Which I get, I feel like, more often than I should. I also failed to grab the monkey.
Yeah.
It was, oh my gosh, it was really bad.
You're supposed to spit a monkey out into the water, and then you can land on that too to get through one of the gaps.
He just kind of juked me. He just kind of juked me.
That's how the monkeys like. You do the door despawn here?
Oh yeah, the hot D.
For this rolling Shy Guide, it uses the super effects chip, the special chip on the Yoshi's Island cart, and the chip can't handle too many objects using it at once, and so the door on that Game Shack also requires a super effects chip. So if you have a Shy Guy rolling at the same time, it just can't load in.
Interesting. I would have expected it to only need that for like the actual scaling when the door opens, but fair enough.
Yeah, I guess it scales the door up all the time. I'm not quite sure how it works.
Remember when I said I love speeding through narrow canals?
I did hear you say that.
I think if I had a gun to my head to pick a favorite level, it would be this one. Not when that happens, though.
But yeah, she just walked through a piranha with an amazing hitbox. How many eggs are we gonna grab? Ooh. Bold.
It's not bold.
Just thinking to yourself, that's just how the game is played. I do that every time.
That's like what everyone does, is it not?
What top runners do, but for a marathon?
You get 2 shots you get 2 tries at the egg shot.
Fair.
That and
so yeah, this boss.
If that's how you know how to play the game. That's the muscle memory.
Yeah. This is the only skippable boss in this game, so we're not going to see much of him. Just want to shoot him from mostly off screen. And Kamek just flies in, says, "Oh my," and it's over.
All caps, oh my. With, I think, 2 exclamation points. Or 3. One of those.
Nicely done.
Some amount of exclamation. That's a really slow boss if you have to actually fight it, so I don't know, it probably saves like 1.5 to 2 minutes or something.
Something like that. Definitely not half a second, I can tell you that.
Right. There.
A little bit more than that.
But hey, if you're looking to learn more about things like that, tricks, one, you can join the Yoshi's Island community, which I'm sure they'd be more than excited to have you. But you can also join the Games Done Quick Discord and community and add the Hotfix Enjoyers role to stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, runners, and other members of the community, and a lot more. You can use !Discord in Twitch chat for an invite and more information.
Who loves fuzzies?
Not me.
I'm still dizzy from the first time, so.
Well, brace yourself, I guess, then. Because this is the hardest fuzzy section of the game. Coming up soon.
Yeah, and this one there is some thin, semi-solid platform, and if you hit them at the right angle when they're swaying around when you're fuzzy, you can actually just clip through them and die. Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad. I think that went better than the first one did, actually.
Yeah. So it is possible to skip this Baby Mario star with some perfect flutters and nonsense, but it saves a half a second.
Really
There
dumb
it is.
trick.
He said the thing.
It's such a dumb trick. I never go for it. Yeah, you need like, what, 2 perfect flutters, and then it's like not free after that. You gotta like do some weird movement.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward movement to not get hit by all the combos.
Not for me. I'm not doing all that for half a second.
Which is a lesson you probably hear from us a lot, especially on this channel, but it really can't be said enough. If there are parts of a run, if there are tricks that you don't enjoy as you learn runs and try to do them, you are under no obligation. The main person you are running against as you learn and continue to grind speedruns is yourself. So never try to push yourself into doing tricks that you don't enjoy in runs.
So a cool trick right here, she's gonna hung 3 times, and hunging while holding right just slows Yoshi down just enough to get right through all those enemies. Nice Baxter.
All right, so I was gonna say we saw the attempt at that earlier. What is the Baxter as far as a thing you can do at the end of levels there?
So it's just swag, but basically you bounce an egg off of a wall and kind of juggle it to past the goal ring, and then the next Yoshi will pick it up when he grabs Baby Mario.
Very cool.
There will be one Baxter coming up later in this world that actually saves some time.
Oh,
That's a little bit different.
Good
oh,
save.
it is. Yeah, we'll talk about that certain Baxter when the time comes.
Also, there was a cool shell jump that Fiona just did that saves about 4 seconds. We just glossed over it. So much going on.
Very fast-paced game.
That's one of the hardest shell jumps, I think.
I always thought it was not that bad, actually.
Maybe so. I might be
I think it's because, like, the way you do it with the flutter, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty intuitive, actually.
hard to not take damage and then make it up in one flutter, but you still save time. We are on to my favorite level. Archie builds fort.
This is a very love-or-hate level. I feel like most people would either say it's toward the top of their list or towards the bottom of their list.
So between the two of you, do we have one of each, or are you both generally favorable on it?
I'm pretty favorable on it, I would say.
Okay.
I think it's like it's a very long and technically demanding level, and that's like not everyone's thing.
Right.
It's also extremely easy to bleed time in this level as a result of that.
Yeah, the basic gimmick of this level is that we're going into this little central hub room here, and then there's 4 doors on the 4 corners, and each one of these has a key in it, and you need 4 keys to get to the boss. We're gonna start with the room that requires the most eggs, because each takes up an egg slot.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Glad we had some extra stars there. Yeah, this is probably the hardest room to optimize.
Say, the bandit finally got a moment to shine there.
Yeah. There's so much going on.
I would say hardest. Would you say hardest room in the entire game?
Depends on how you measure it, I guess. 5-4 skip's pretty hard too. But
True.
in a different way.
That was actually going pretty well until I got stolen by the bandit.
Yeah. Rest of it was pretty clean, I think, too. Here we're going to use this snippet.
Whoa.
Get an extended flutter. Whoa, that was a cool egg shot.
Definitely intended to do that.
Of course.
Normally I would just shoot it directly at the guy. And not off the wall like that.
Yeah, you have to do a little left-right to avoid getting caught by one of the platforms, so probably just shot a little early while she was facing left. I don't think I've ever seen that, though.
I don't think I have either.
Some more jank foam shots here.
That's my favorite room in the level.
Yeah, that one's fun if it goes well. This final room, there's a very difficult trick to skip riding the bucket at the start, but I don't think she's getting it. Yeah.
There was once a world record set in this category because Saku did bucket skip.
Nice.
A really precise flutter to get under that wall without... If you, like, bonk the ceiling there, then you're guaranteed falling into lava.
But honestly, what other opportunity are we going to get to ride a bucket today? So I'm grateful that you did, if nothing else.
Once upon a time, the world record was like a 141.26 by Saku. And then there was one day he was doing a run. It was I guess not a very good run by his standards. So he went for that bucket skip to save the run. And he did it. He got the trick and then finished the run. And it was like a 141.25.8 or something like that.
A very Summoning Salt style story.
Yeah. So although I like this level in general, I'm not a huge fan of this boss fight. It's pretty jank. Just randomly take damage. But the goal is to try to get the different... Well, he's gonna split this build into pieces and then try to get them kind of together so that she can ground pound multiple pieces at once. There we go. Double. Possible to do a triple, but it only saves about a second.
And it's also a dumb
Nice
trick.
clean fight. It is a very dumb trick.
But a very clean boss fight.
That was actually very clean, yeah. That last
egg shot to clear them all out.
That last egg shot is always so satisfying.
You end that fight off on a very high note.
Every time someone's new in my chat and they see that last egg shot, they always kind of lose their mind a little bit.
I understand why.
Got some blind ground pounds here. Oh, that one's not blind. They can be tricky to nail first try.
Well, there's a visual cue you can use for it. What?
Yeah.
Chat, tell me how I hit that mid-ring.
Producer, can we get the instant replay on that?
Someone called Nintendo. A cute little boost from that melon bug. It bounces off a couple walls, and then when it hits you, you get the speed that the melon bug had. I forget, maybe a half a second?
I feel like it's less than that, honestly. How much did that shell jump save?
I already forgot. I don't know how much that saves either.
I feel like it saves around a second.
That sounds right.
Because you're just cutting out a flutter.
Yeah. That shell jump is tricky because landing on the shell itself is tricky, but then you also have to jump out of like a very narrow gap afterward. I don't know what the frame window on that is, but it's kind of tricky. Now watch Yoshi go right through a Koopa here in a second. How did that happen? Magic. So when Yoshi runs into a shell, he becomes invulnerable for a little bit, which is how that worked. It's just for swag there. But in a couple levels, we're going to do one that actually saves time.
Hardest room in the game coming up?
True. Oh yeah. Can you do it?
Phew, barely made it.
Wow, perfect.
Barely made it.
Genuinely, everything in the run up to that point was manipulation for that room to make it easier.
Yeah.
So now, honestly, the pressure is off. 5-4,
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, really the only hard trick.
Honestly, though, the fact that that room exists is insane to me.
It's very
Like,
fun.
what is the point in that room?
I don't know. That was a very clean 4-6.
Would you like to do the honors of
mentioned-
explaining Chicken Baxter?
Yeah, so I mentioned there's a useful Baxter earlier. So in this level, we're going to grab a little enemy called a Huffin' Puffin, or we like to call it a chicken. And usually when you enter a goal ring, it'll just fly away because you're not supposed to have them in any other levels. But if you do some bright slot manipulation and a frame perfect trick, you can carry it on to the next level. So she's going to try to aim this chicken while aim this chicken at the very end of the level and then cancel on the same frame that Yoshi enters the goal ring.
I never knew it was called a Huffin'
yes.
Puffin.
I believe that's the actual name.
That's really funny.
Almost as funny as chicken.
Almost. Oh.
Oh, a little late, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was late.
Yeah, that saves somewhere between 8 and 10 seconds on the next boss, but it's quite tricky. Only get one chance at it.
There's also like no punishment in not going for it, so like you might as well just go for it.
Yeah. Takes barely any time to grab that chicken. I see someone asking in chat what warpless is. It's kind of a weird name because warps are only one of the glitches in this category, and warpless is really just a no major glitches category in general. So
No!
oh no! I don't think I've seen that one before.
It's because
too bad of a job.
because I do that trick a little differently than everyone else.
Yeah, you always land on that ledge. I usually just flutter.
Yeah, so the short version is that the true any percent for this game warps from the beginning to the end, and it's about 5 minutes long. And then there are, quote unquote glitched categories.
Bro.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm doing the flutter. I'm just
Okay. Yeah.
I'm doing the safe strat for
Yeah,
me.
warpless is essentially the play all the levels category, as opposed to any percent, but also as opposed to 100%, which is to play it the way you might have casually, but really, really fast, where you're also collecting all of the red coins, all of the flowers, and finishing every level with full stars.
All that for that weird looking trick.
Look, the people needed to see it.
That's a tech I mentioned earlier where she ran into that shell just before going under the spike ball, and running into the shell makes Yoshi invincible for a little bit, so he can go under it without taking damage. Grabbing some eggs for the boss fight. Coming into this room is 6 eggs. You can throw 3 and then tongue 1. Get them. I don't know if we got it.
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice. So if you have 4 eggs, then you don't have to grab any from Hookbill at the very start of the fight. Saves a little time. So by the way, this is Hookbill the Koopa. Coming up here. Doing a little bit of camera manipulation to speed up the cutscene bit. I want to get Yoshi to near the center of the screen.
I still don't know how that trick works.
It's magic.
It's what it feels like.
Don't think about it too much. So this is where we would have used that chicken. The chicken can knock Hookbill over in one shot, but now we're going to have to use 4 eggs to knock Hookbill over each time. Just 4 shots, then a ground pound. And then do it 2 more times. Hookbill coughs out eggs because that makes sense.
Yep.
What else would a turtle do?
Yeah. No, not like it lays eggs instead of eating them, but I suppose they had to come from somewhere.
Yeah. And yeah, that's blast off. If you ground pound Hookbill like right as he's falling over on the last hit, you'll just fly into the air for some reason or another.
Let's see if you've exited this world Team Rocket style.
Yeah. It doesn't actually save time necessarily, but it just kind of means that you did it fast.
If you're here watching, I imagine you like to go fast, and so I want to thank everyone who is supporting Games Done Quick, including people who put in subscriptions, who've given gift subs and bits cheered, because those contributions help keep shows on the Games Done Quick hotfix running. And if you're enjoying the stream, consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to the chat during replays. You can also, of course, always support the stream by sharing the Games Done Quick channel with your friends.
This is the worst screen in the game.
Riding on clouds. Because it's just cloud riding?
Because for some reason this screen likes to screw me over more than anyone else. Like, I don't know what the deal is with this screen, but I've encountered so much more. I don't know. Much more
unexpected headache.
So much more dumb stuff than I feel like any other runner has.
It's a tricky room, trying to just weave our way through all these icicles and throw eggs at some of them to get them out of the way. We made it look easy. We are getting into the snow now. We'll be seeing for the next few levels.
I actually had the first snow of the season here yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Very timely. Yeah, it hasn't happened here yet, but I actually was driving to work the other day and saw a car that had snow all over the top of it. Must have come from a little further north.
Oh yeah,
that's interesting.
My car was very frosty this morning.
You saw Fiona just hung up into the air, seemingly at nothing. There's actually a egg that's hiding in behind a tree that you can grab, but I think you just missed it.
Yeah, I missed it.
On this screen, we're going to be riding a cloud and hitting some of these star clouds, because, again, these stars don't despawn when they go off screen, even if they fall below the level. And the sprite overload is going to keep a save ring from spawning in right at the end of that room. Otherwise, you'd have to jump over it, which is a little bit slower.
Very clever.
Now we're just bouncing on some snowmen to get them.
Yeah, the combination of bouncing down on a real clean line and then making those flutters, that looked really good.
It's always a little nerve-wracking, though.
I believe it.
Sometimes you'll be like just a little bit short on one of your jumps, and you'll hit the side of the penguin, and when you hit the side of the penguins, it'll bounce you to the side. And it's kind of an awkward save to have to make.
Some more RNG fish here, but bounce on that one to get over the level saves quite a bit of time over having to flutter under all of this.
This can be a very scary level.
Yeah. It's supposed to take a Baby Mario star through all of this, but it takes too long to get to it, so just skip it. This screen in particular is really scary. There's a gate with some spikes that insta-kill you coming up, and you have to clear them out with eggs or else duck under them. If you're trying to do it fast, often miss with your egg and then just run into it. But no, she's fine. Guess there was no risk there, but it looks scary.
I did that in practice earlier too, and it always kind of makes my heart skip a beat a little bit for no reason.
It's the kind of thing where you feel like it should have ice physics, so missing a platform on ice feels like it should be risky.
Now we get to appreciate Baby Mario's super cute
The woolen cap.
hat.
I agree. If you're going out into conditions this unfavorable, definitely make sure to stay warm. No need for a shirt or anything, but the hat definitely helps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chat tells me that they do, in fact, have ice physics. I was actually thinking about asking earlier, but it looked so much like they don't that I didn't figure I had to.
No, yeah, those are definitely ice blocks.
Yes.
Go, jeez.
Yeah, they are slippery.
Got it.
So Mario just moves by himself, or I guess Yoshi moves by himself in this area, but the only thing you can control is your jump, and jumping at certain times does make you go faster. There are quite a few little optimizations you do in the skiing section.
Up next is the level that brings fear to the hearts of all top runners of this game.
Yeah, there's a very difficult trick creatively known as 5-4 skip.
Yep, here we go.
Or Blargwitch skip.
Yeah, there's a very slow platform that takes you through one of the rooms and stops a bunch of times to let you explore around. And we don't want to take that. So we're going to flutter through like the entire room, which, as I mentioned earlier, you have to let go of the jump button for exactly 1 frame or else you'll lose some height, and you can't afford to lose much height. So it's quite smooth. Fiona's also intentionally making some stars because there is an unskippable bid ring in this level too. So you can save a little time on if you have a lot of stars.
Alright, I'm gonna give this 1 try. If I don't get it, then sucks to be me, I guess.
Hey, 1 try was all you needed in practice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm taking a weird route because I didn't jump.
That's 100% count.
Yeah. Should have turned this into a 100% run for this level.
Right, this level only.
Do you know how to do the 100% skip?
I did it once.
We'd probably give you some quiet for this trick.
No.
Oh, that was so close. Just a couple more flutters and he would have landed on that bat, and then the hardest part is over. Really good attempt.
Yeah, the remainder of it looks, kind of gives you an idea of where Kaizo level designer's mechanics came from, because the rest of it is using that group of bats to carry you across the remainder of the ravine.
Yeah, and it's kind of tricky to manipulate those bats to come down to the right height so you can land on them. But Fiona's practiced it enough that that part's not too difficult compared to the fluttering. Yeah, now you get to see how much this trick saves. Because this platform is really slow.
It's a grand total of 84 seconds. So it's a really huge time save, which is why we actually go for it, despite it being so insanely hard.
Sure.
During races, I don't even bother going for it. I just try to get as good of a time as I can get without the trick.
Makes sense. But yeah, if you're say watching after the fact on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel, you could probably open another tab and watch 5-4 skip while we're doing this section here. And if you are already there and you want to catch up on past hotfix shows, special events, and GDQ mini marathons and the mainline events, you can go over to youtube.com/Games Done Quick. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all things GDQ.
Still going, by the way.
Just a slow blarg witch.
All right, so we had our discussion earlier about favorite songs in this game. Chat, I want you to get in on that as well. What is your favorite song? You know, you can give me a level type. You can give me the name of the song if you know it. There is so much good stuff in this game's soundtrack.
Yeah, honestly, despite the fact that I've probably put, I don't know, definitely 4-digit hours into this game, I think most of the songs in this game I just do not ever get tired of. Although this song's a little traumatizing because of 5-4 skip, and then the athletic theme is very annoying after a while, but everything else is just phenomenal.
We got a couple of votes right off the top for final boss. That's a good call.
Yeah, that one goes really hard.
I like the cave theme the most.
Yeah, Fiona and I just kind of connected on that. Like, I put that idea out there. I'm like, yeah, you know, the cave level, it stuck in my head. And we were like, oh, yeah, no, same.
A really weird strat to kill this boss, named Sluggy the Unshaven, by the way. Fiona's going to keep going off screen and then shooting an egg to hit Sluggy's heart right as he loads in. So you want the egg to be like inside Sluggy when his hitbox appears. Otherwise, you have to like hit him with a few eggs to get all the way to the heart.
It's actually really tricky to save it if you miss one of the shots. So I'm glad I was able to save it. I missed a couple shots.
Yeah, he keeps like sliding to the left, and so you have to keep adjusting your like visual cue the longer it takes. It can be hard to figure out when you can't see where he is. Are you gonna go for helicopter skip?
Of course.
Of course. Saves a full 1 second.
Yeah, it's a trick that looks like it saves way more than it does.
Yeah, the helicopter takes a long time for the actual transformation of grabbing it, but then once you're in it, it goes really fast. So actually doesn't end up saving that much to skip it. But that's what we're doing here. Gonna bounce on some of these goonies and do some pretty tight flutters, especially through here. Nice.
Yeah, some of these hitboxes are, I would say, they are in the realm of being deceptive. Like earlier with Hookbill, the last hit going directly into that ground pound looks illegal.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Very clean.
the helicopter bubble is actually very strange.
Yeah, that's an easy one to accidentally hit too. And here,
nice.
Fiona landed on that Shy Guy and then bounced on the switch, and you can actually keep your extended flutter even after bouncing on the switch.
Yep, and the flutter up and over to hit that piranha is also extremely tight timing. There was a lot of practice as we were getting ready for the show this evening to make sure that one landed.
Yeah, that trick has been kind of like, it's been screwing me a lot lately. I don't know what the deal is. Also, I got a Baxter there. I don't know if anyone noticed.
So Fiona, on the longer runs on the Hotfix, we typically like to take wellness breaks to give everybody a chance to take care of themselves. Do you want to do that right now? As soon as? No, we'll do it as soon as we finish this this auto scroller.
Okay. I get it. And I am definitely not on PB pace right now, so I don't care.
Yeah, no worries. I was keeping a close eye on the time as we came into 5-4, and I'm like, I mean, things have gone really well so far.
No, after my controller disconnected in 1-1, I was like, okay, it's going to be like that.
Fair. Wow, you knew that early. Fair enough.
So the thing with this level is that it's actually an auto scroller and then a regular section after, rather than just like a auto scroller the whole way. So I'll point out when the auto scroller is about to end, and then we can go on break.
The main challenge in this auto scroller is just not taking damage and bleed time every time you get hit, having to grab Baby Mario back. Sadly, not possible to avoid all the red coins. I think one of the baseball boys went off screen.
Shout out to the category extension fasting, where this auto scroller is unbelievably hard because you can't eat the Lakitus.
Oh jeez.
Still need to try that category.
It's actually pretty fun. Should give it a shot.
Good.
Challenges that established communities come up with for themselves are endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, it's basically just
Sorry,
it's just warpless. It's just warpless, but you can't swallow any enemies.
The one I've been fascinated by recently. It's the stupidest thing, if I'm honest, but a group of friends found a PlayStation 2 game called Finny the Fish, and I don't remember if the board had more than one runner, but the runner/mod invented a category called McDonald's percent, where the idea is you do the run, and just before the end of the run, when you get to the final boss, you pause the game, you go to McDonald's, you get something, and you come back and finish the run. And there's like a full rule set to say you can't remote back into your console to finish the run while you're still at McDonald's. You have to order more than just a drink. I appreciate the dedication to the bit.
The auto scroller is gonna come to an end soon. So I'll just pause, I guess. And
yeah, well, when we transition back out to the world map will be a good time to pause the timer and take a quick break.
Okay. Now we get to the level.
Yeah, this is the fun part.
It is actually a pretty fun level, besides the auto scroller.
Yeah.
Although the fact that this auto scroller exists is incredible because of 5-4 skip. After you get 5-4 skip, that adrenaline, it kind of it's like really overpowering. So that auto scroller is really nice to calm down.
Makes sense.
Okay. So once I go to the world map, I'm just not gonna hit the next level, and then you can do what you guys gotta do.
Yeah. So what we'll do here is we'll take a quick break. Everyone take the opportunity to get up and stretch, get a snack for yourself if you need to. Make sure to stay hydrated and come right on back for more Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix in just a few minutes. And welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix and Out of the Box, the show that is all about runs that you can jump into. And we are jumping back into a Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island run with Fiona. Let's get back to it.
All right. Hope everyone had a good break. I'm gonna resume the timer on go. I'll count down from three this time. So 3, 2, 1, go.
We are onto a fun level here. A lot of fast-moving platforms. And a lot of death pits.
Yeah,
Early that one did.
this level is terrifying when you're starting out. This is one of those levels where all of your first PBs will have like a death or like 2 deaths, maybe even 3 deaths on this level.
A lot of bouncing on or jumping off of Goonies. Those little birds.
And utilizing the momentum of the moving platform there was very slick.
Yeah. Another nice boost there. And we're going to do a trick called a piranha clip here.
Oh my gosh. That was so scary.
That works. Yeah, so those piranhas don't have a hitbox for a little bit when you hit them. They require you to hit them 3 times to actually kill them, but each time you hit them even once, their hitbox disappears for about a half a second and just enough time to run through them. And this looks super spooky, but it's not actually that bad.
Yeah, I like, oh, wait. I looked away for a second. Is this supposed to be happening? And then I saw the screen scroll down. I'm like, okay, we're good.
There is another strat you can do that, like, I don't remember how it goes, but like you like extended flutter off one of the penguins and then like go up and skips the flutters. I think.
Yeah.
Wait.
That requires a really precise penguin skip to get it in just the right spot.
How much does it save?
A half second, I think.
Oh, okay.
Now that's a Yoshi's Island trick if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it saves a full second in level, but then because you collect red coins, you lose a half second.
Yes.
That's funny.
The helicopter skip a few levels back was like that too.
Yeah. So pretty thick platforming here.
Right, this level has a
Bouncing
great
off all
sense
these
of
bulldozers.
verticality.
Yeah.
What are these enemies called again?
Kaboomba.
Yes, Kaboombas.
Terrific.
Yoshi's Island has some of the best enemy names ever.
Yeah. It's sad that they aren't used anywhere in game, at least most of them. I feel like I don't even know most of the names of the enemy.
I just know Kaboomba, and then there's an enemy we'll see in a bit called a Blowhard.
Yeah. The reason we're climbing up so high in this level is we are going to the moon. If you know anything about the moon, you know that penguins live there.
When there are no more realms to conquer, the Yoshis will take to space. I mean, like, I kind of assumed we were really just trying to get to the top of this tower to get a better perspective on where we were trying to get Mario back to, and then this just kind of happened along the way. But truly, who can be sure?
Yeah, probably.
By the way, my split name for this one is Stupid Bird, because this this bird is really dope.
Yeah, he can be.
Yeah, we want this guy to go left.
But he never goes
That's a lot
left
of
for me.
No. At least he didn't stop before the post.
You also don't want him
There's a
to
lot
do
of-
that attack. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah, he is not being nice.
Almost the worst possible RNG.
you rolled with the punches well. I could say that much for sure.
Yeah, it's Yeah, you get used to it after a while.
That's fair. Sometimes it's all you can do.
I mean, it's supposed to be 50-50, but all I'm going to say is it feels more like 90-10.
No, of course.
Now we have the longest cutscene in the game.
You gotta do like the usual stuff, and then Yoshi has to like... I don't even know what's happening in this cutscene, honestly.
Like climbing up to this high tower, and then he blows it up, and then something, it gets dark.
Yeah, like he does all that stuff, but then like what's happening? What's gonna happen? Like what's this?
I don't know. All Nintendo and ask.
Now it's dark.
Nighttime.
We just
Who knows
warped
why?
to a different map somehow.
World 6 is appropriately one of the hardest worlds. I don't know if it's harder than World 4, but it's up there.
I think it is, personally. I think it's more like technically demanding, but I would say World 4 is easier to lose time in.
That's fair.
If that makes like any sense at all.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, you were talking about the kind of margins with some of the swoops, and we saw at least one goal ring unexpectedly tag you, even though you were going well under it. Like it was quite apparent, despite how well you've been doing this run, that the margins in some levels are extremely slim.
Whoa, lag.
That was very
That
laggy.
was way laggier than it usually is.
Like it worked though, so but yeah.
Yeah, those chomps that fall from the sky are random, and they can cause a lot of lag. They can also make you die. A pretty tricky ending. Made it look easy. Are you gonna go for the Fiona stairs?
No, that trick is dumb.
It really is.
Is it a trick that was found more on accident, or?
So it's actually it started from an IL world record from like probably like 12 years ago or something like that. And then at some point I decided, let's do that in full runs. And then I never got it a single time in full runs. So I dropped the strat.
Understandable.
And that's why Icterus calls it Fiona stairs, because I'm like the only one that ever went for it in full runs. It's this staircase right here. You can do it without slowing down at all, but it's ridiculously precise.
I believe it.
And it saves like
Yeah, you can
probably a second or so.
you can easily fall and die if you don't quite land on a platform. We're gonna do something kind of like a perfect flutter here with Baby Mario to get over that wall. But save some amount of time, maybe 1 or 2 seconds.
I think it's like a second.
And she intentionally didn't get the last Baby Mario star with the refill on the timer, because then you'd have to sit at the goal ring for a while waiting for it to wear off. It's our last level with Fuzzy. This time we get the added special bonus of having these spinning logs that shoot you in weird directions.
Yeah, arguably more aggressive than their counterparts in Super Mario World 1.
They're like kind of random, kind of not. They're really weird. It's like if you just like kind of go for the center left, you'll generally go in the same direction every time. But there's always like a little bit of variance to it. It's just weird.
They hit you in the opposite direction. It looks like they should.
Yeah, because they spin counterclockwise. Or like they're going down when you hit it, but it sends you straight upwards.
Don't ask why.
The physics, like many of the things in this game, could just as easily be described as magic.
And I'm pretty sure if you hit it on the other side, it will send you straight down.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. Which is really weird, because it looks like it should send you upwards.
So the moving blocks in this level, their like cycle is loaded in from like as soon as you enter the room. So if you mess up anything, basically the cycle is messed up for the rest of the room. But that's not going to be a problem for Fiona. Get through very nicely. I'm sure you guys haven't gotten enough of Salvo the Slime, so we're gonna fight him again. Nice.
You can kill him like in one less bounce, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah. Looked like you were pretty close.
Yeah, I think so.
They were actually intended to fight 2 salvos in this level. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but we're going to be skipping the second one. This takes a couple perfect flutters. Really just one. To get over that wall, and that skips the fight. No clue how much that saves.
A lot, I think.
A lot, yeah. That was a weird edge shot.
I don't know why I did that.
So this is called Lava Skip. It's kind of like 5-4 skip, but not quite as hard. Yikes! Okay, this is fine. And it only saves 3 seconds.
If you get it, that is.
Yeah. Riding this log can be kind of tricky though, because you have to kind of manipulate it to ride the waves correctly, or it will go super slow. Now it's going really slow.
Yeah, ordinarily, so like the waves are, like not every wave is the same, but it's always going to be in the same like order every time. So whenever you're normally going through the room and you ride the log, it'll be the same every time, and the waves will be more optimal than what I just had to do. It'll be more stronger waves that will speed you up.
Yeah. This is a super quick boss fight. Just 4 taps of the A button and you're done.
You could actually just do that boss fight by hitting A 5 times, not even moving. Just hit A 5 times and he'll just die.
And now we have the longest auto-scroller in the game. Appropriately known as the very long A, with a lot of O's.
You know how many O's it is?
No.
I don't either.
I should count
Hang on,
sometime.
We should look it up. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have to turn my TV up to here for a trick I'm gonna do at the end of the screen.
No problem.
Oh yeah.
Ordinarily, I would have my TV at like pretty loud when I'm playing normally, but for tonight I've been having it pretty low volume so it wouldn't go through my mic. But there's a trick that pretty heavily relies on audio at the end of this room. So it may go through the mic.
This is an unusual auto-scroller in that it goes around in a big loop and it comes back to where it was earlier. I don't know if I know of any other auto-scrollers that do that.
1.5 does. Kinda.
It doesn't come back to the
It comes back
same
above
place
where it
again.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a letter C that you take in the opposite direction of how it would be if you wrote it. Yeah, you're right. That does kind of make this feel more like a classical maze in a 2D platformer. The kind of thing where, like, there are lots of different doors you could take, but half of them just lead you back to the start of the maze.
So despite this being a 3-minute long auto-scroller, it actually has one of the coolest tricks in the entire game. You can push a rock and it'll like have it push you past the auto-scroll, and then you can exit the screen early.
Yeah, it's a super cool trick.
How much does it save? It's like, what, half a second?
I knew it was
I feel
going
like
to be
it's a
one
full
of two
second.
numbers.
You think it's what, Icterus?
I think it's a full second.
Oh, is it?
Around there. But yeah, she's using this sky guy to get an extended flutter up here, and there's a rock sitting up above the screen that's supposed to come down and troll you. There's some weird timing to getting it to go off the right edge. I don't really understand how it works, but it does.
Very, very nicely done.
And another big skip here. I'm doing a frame perfect jump like that. Nice. Prevents the camera from scrolling up, and there's actually an auto scroll trigger up above the screen. So this whole section's supposed to be an auto scroller, but we just skipped it. Saves about 30 seconds or 25 maybe.
Up next is the probably dumbest trick in the entire run.
Possibly. Yeah, this one's called Rockless because there's a key it takes a really long time. You have to go around in a big loop to get it casually, but there's an easier trick where you use a chomp rock to kind of let Yoshi's tongue clip through the wall and he can grab it early. But if you do 2 frame perfect inputs, you can grab this key without using the rock.
Definitely losing time over the rock.
This is cooler though.
Okay, no, this is not worth it.
Now I get to see both.
Yeah, now we get to see both.
Nice. So jumping into the bottom of that rock kind of like teleports Yoshi forward a little bit, and I guess it teleports his tongue too, so it kind of goes through the wall. That's my best explanation.
I love a trick where the community can all collectively be like, oh yeah, no, we know it works if you do this kind of setup. We just don't know what's actually happening on the back end of the game.
Just magic.
Something like that.
I think it's just because it's a round bottom, so it just like nudges Yoshi forward if you hit it at an angle.
Yeah,
It's probably something like that.
That makes sense.
sounds about right. And now we have the meme number level.
Yes, I suppose we technically do. It wasn't like that when they made the level, I promise.
So there is an insane skip in this level that no one has ever gotten in a run. Saves about 45 seconds.
Until 2 minutes from now.
Yeah. So you are going for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Hey, why not?
So it's the same basic mechanic as the 1-2 skip where we bit a daisy into the wall and bounced on it. But for some reason, I guess either because you're fluttering here or because it's a sniff it, I don't really know the exact mechanics. It's just way more precise.
I think it's the hitbox of the sniff it. I'm pretty sure it's a shorter hitbox, is it not?
Yeah, it probably is. So it's frame perfect plus, like, it just never works, even if you get the frame. Someone needs to, like, science it out and figure out exactly how it works. You can get the sock folder set up.
That would be so cool, actually.
I feel like with all the flutters beforehand, it would be hard to get a precise setup.
Definitely.
Yeah, here we go. If this works.
Oh.
Oh, got the frame.
Did I get the frame? I don't know. I don't think I did.
If it falls straight down, then you got the frame.
Oh.
But it didn't clip into the wall, probably because you were not at the right height. It has to, like, hit at a certain vertical pixel, I guess.
Ah!
Oh! That was scary. Oh yeah, that trick would have saved this riding this super slow platform.
I was trying to do another platform boost, but I did it. I was like, I thought I was further along the roller coaster than I was. So I went for it, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do actually.
It worked out. So she's going to do some more camera manip at the end of this section. There's going to be some moving platforms coming up, and we just want them to be at the right point in their cycle. We can bounce off this stiffet and land on it, and go on our way right away.
Sometimes the sprite that, I don't know if it's a sprite, but like sometimes the end of the screen can despawn.
Yeah.
There, so that's why I killed that egg there.
Yeah, you can just run right into the edge of the screen and nothing happened, and you have to go back and reload it. So another gate hack here that's a different mechanic. You basically have to you have to tongue that cactus while it's moving left, and then when you spit it into the gate, some of the like previous leftward momentum is still there for a bit, I guess, and it lets it open up the gate from the wrong way. Sometimes it just randomly doesn't work because of sprite IDs, which is super fun.
We're finally gonna see it.
Last transformation of the game.
I think it's also, is this the only helicopter we see in the run?
Skip the other two, I guess. Are there any others?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Pretty cool.
Hope you enjoyed that
Yeah,
ride.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It was quick.
That was the content we know you all came here to see tonight.
Yeah, so there were 4 spinning doors there, and we wanted to get door 4 because it's by far the fastest. And it always spawns in at the same spot and moves at the same speed, so you can just run right and shoot an egg at the right spot, and it always
Don't
works.
have to worry about skipping red coins or flowers this go around.
Yeah, because there's no score screen at the end of this level.
Yeah, the doors, the 3 other doors range from like not horrendous to might as well just die and try again.
Yeah, I think if you get door 3, it's literally faster to just die. It's a super long auto scroller.
No, thank you. We've already had one of those this run.
Plenty.
Had a couple of
Granted.
them. I think this game's actually not that bad when it comes to auto scrollers. The one in 1.5 is kind of annoying after a while, but I think the ones in 5.6 and 6.5 are both okay because of where they are in the run.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Helps you calm down a lot. At least we're not SMB3 with its 50,000 auto scrollers.
Yeah. There's a lot more content between each auto scroller.
SMB3 is a cool game, by the way. I've thought about giving it a shot, like speedrunning it. But then I remember about all the RNG.
Granted,
Like, no.
you've got, but there are versions of a lot of those movements through levels that can be done easier. You're not gonna clock a top time doing it, but the run can be a lot more accessible. It has, in fact, been on this very show.
You're on to Baby Bowser.
Very shortly, Baby Bowser will be on to us.
Can't read this text probably since it's in Japanese, but he seems to have no idea what's going on and just thinks Yoshi's a queen donkey and wants to ride him. Hopefully he will not get to ride Yoshi.
There's an optimization you can do in that phase of the boss fight that I don't go for because I think it's dumb. Where you can like bounce on him as he's like bouncing up, and it'll cancel his whole bouncing up thing. And it saves like how much does it save, Victorus?
Oh, I want to say a half second.
Yeah.
Everything saves a half second. It's really easy to get hit doing that. And now we have the real Bowser.
Well,
This is
it's still
actually a
Baby
really
Bowser though.
tricky fight. Yeah, it's Baby Bowser but giant now.
It's like big Baby Bowser.
Yep.
He seems to know what he's doing now.
I mean, to be fair, I would say he was a big baby in the last phase too, but now his stature matches his temperament.
Fair.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah,
So luckily the game auto saves when you enter Baby Bowser. So we don't lose too much progress.
I knew as soon as I got hit that it was over because sometimes when it's like really weird. And yeah, that's why I don't go for the trick. I was gonna try to show it off. That's why I don't go for it.
Genuinely, the one time in the game an unusual looking hitbox worked against you.
Okay. Attempt 2. This will hopefully go better. And I'm also very glad I changed the estimate on this run, like basically last minute.
And it also gave you time to go after other sillier skips.
Yeah.
This fight is pretty tricky to actually hit him, get like a perfect fight. You have to hit him 7 times, and each time you hit him, if you do it fast, he moves farther away. And the farther he gets away, the more the more precise your angle has to be. Then eventually, I think he gets so far away that you can't hit him at all.
Honestly, just casually being able to hit him at all is kind of a feat, especially this consistently and repeatedly. Like that's that's amazing.
Truth be told, I actually just thought that shot was gonna miss, so I went for an extra one.
I genuinely did not even remember the arc of the eggs being able to go back that far because I always waited. Yeah.
Time will be when I dismiss the last text box. So it'll be in like pretty soon. And time.
GG's.
Nice run.
I always wanted to say that.
And now you have. Very strong finish. Couldn't ask for more from a very fun run of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. So Fiona, how did you enjoy your first time on the GDQ channel?
It was pretty fun. I was ridiculously nervous, but honestly, after like the first, I would say by the time I was out of 1-5, it just felt more like a normal run.
Yeah, and that's the secret. Like running at marathons, no resets. It's literally just a celebration of all the work you've done to get to this point. So I'm glad to hear you enjoyed yourself. But if people want to see more runs like this, where can they find you?
On Twitch, my username is ApplesauceFiona. On YouTube, it'd probably be kind of difficult to find me on YouTube because my YouTube is just Fiona. But if you look up Yoshi's Island, Warpless, or Warps, whatever, surely my runs will show up at some point. And on Twitter, I mean, it's Twitter, so I don't know if anyone really uses that anymore. But you can find me on at Fiona1020_. That'll
Very
be
cool.
where I post my gaming stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and one more thing that I thought you might be interested in, knowing you didn't have a lot of marathon experience. If you were interested in finding more places, including with GDQ, to do speedruns, I wanted to let you and the community at large know about Frame Fatales, a community of women and femmes who share a passion for speedrunning, gaming, and charity. They do 2 flagship events each year, but also host activities year-round in the community Discord, like Game of the Month and Randomizer gaming events. If you out there in chat would like to know more, you can use !FF to learn and get involved. And Icterus, where can the people find you?
Yeah, my Twitch is just Icterus440. I don't stream very often, but if you get lucky, you might catch me on there. You'll probably see me more on YouTube, same username. Or if you just Google Yoshi's Island Speedrun, I think, or not Google, search on YouTube Yoshi's Island Speedrun. It'll be like one of the first things that comes up for some reason.
Well, very cool. Thank you so much to the both of you for joining us. This was a really fun run. And welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix, the show that believes that if you can watch it, you can run it. Now, friends, I know you already know, but it bears saying that event season is in the air. Shoutouts to lots of exciting upcoming events, including but not limited to Awesome Games Done Quick 2026, which will be live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 4th to the 10th. If you are interested, registration is open, so you can register to experience the event in person. Visit gdq.gg for more information. Shoutouts also to Fast Paced Events, doing their yearly, or their return to big events with Fast Paced for Pride coming up shortly, and the Binary Breakers running Hope for the Holidays in just a few weeks. But also our next runner is doing a big event of his own, a Sonic Handheld 16 that will involve showing off, I think, every handheld Sonic game. So here to run Sonic Rush Adventure for us on our Mario and Sonic evening, and to tell us more about that showcase of his is Kirby Masto with Sonic Rush Adventure.
Hi, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so as a Tree mentioned, I'm here. I've been working on a project since last year to do a speedrun of all 16 Sonic handheld platformer games. That includes all 5 Game Gear games, a Sonic Pocket Adventure, all 3 Advance games, all 3 Rush games, including Colors DS, both Rivals games, and Generations 3DS, and Lost World 3DS. And tonight, I'm going to be showcasing Sonic Rush Adventure. If you caught Amber's passion project show like 2 weeks ago, it's a similar idea. It's the same show, not show, project. But in this case,
the same greater project that you'll be doing it December 13th, if I remember right.
Yep.
Starting
December 13th, 7 a.m. Eastern.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, so to introduce you all to this game, this is Sonic Rush Adventure, the sequel to Rush, and honestly, in my opinion, underappreciated because it was not first. I think, hot take, I think this game is better than Rush. But This game's awesome. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, honestly. The speedrun is definitely very difficult, but also very fun. And yeah, so without further ado, do we have a timer ready?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, let's get into it.
Awesome. 3, 2, 1, cat. Yeah.
That's as good a starting cue as any.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I am playing on a Japanese cartridge, although text is not impacted by the version of your game. Text is pulled from what's it called? The DS language settings.
Ah, okay.
Yep. But I am playing the Japanese version because Japanese voices are cool.
True.
And this is a bit of a tutorial segment, and we're done. So pretty straightforward. So yeah, this game has like an adventure segment kind of thing where you kind of have to run around and explore the world and stuff. We're doing a quick save here because the save is mandatory. Tails will not let you proceed until you save, which is good because the game is forcing you to understand that you know how to save before you keep going.
I mean, and it's also great character building for Tails because Tails absolutely would make Sonic do that.
Play it safe, yep. So yeah, this game, as I mentioned, so the context of this game is that Sonic and Tails got blown away, sucked into a tornado, and they're on this like island that they don't know anything about. And they met this little raccoon named Marine. She's very adorable, but she's super naive, and she kind of wants to go out and go on an adventure. And so Sonic and Tails are kind of playing along while also using this as an excuse to kind of explore where the heck they are. So pretty good vibes. Nothing horrible is going to happen whatsoever. And this is kind of a C-chart tutorial where Tails is like, hey, by just wiggling the cursor around, you got a really good grasp on how to use the map. Awesome. So yeah, that's just us blowing through that tutorial really quickly. Okay. So there are 4 water vehicles in this game, all touchscreen minigames basically, and the Wave Cyclone is probably most fun because it has its own boost meter, and this is kind of a, normally speaking, whenever you explore the C-chart, you have randomized layouts, but in this case, this is a tutorial, so this layout is always the same. If we play perfectly, we'll get a 1 minute 24. And our boost meter goes up with every ring we get. We can also get boost meter from tricking off of ramps, which gives you 16 rings worth of boost. But with the route we have, we lose a lot of time if I miss a single ring. We want to hit max boost right here. We cannot miss a single ring, otherwise this route will not work. So we have to play very carefully. Okay, so we got max. Once you're at max boost, which goes for the boost series as a whole when you get to the actual stages, you have unlimited boost for a short period of time, basically. So this mini game, which is touchscreen based, kind of actually plays sort of similar to the platformer section, which is kind of funny. And we stop. Trick again. And we should hit max boost again soon, and we boost to the end. Mostly the end.
Also an integral part of both of these games, or because it was introduced in Rush as a way to kind of vary it up. You potentially like use the touchscreen, more interaction with stuff, and it also gives you that extra momentum when you land.
Fantastic. That was a low 24.
Nice.
That was really good. All right, now we get to the actual stages. Yeah, so Creature mentioned that tricking is a thing in this game, and that's your main way of building boost. And you see the boost meter on the left side. Oops. I made a mistake there, that's fine. We were kind of low on boost actually because of that mistake, but we'll manage. Dodge that hand because it's low. Fortunate mistake, no biggie. So we just got the quick boost, quick trick upgrade, which is exclusive to this game. It basically just means you can trick a lot really quickly, build up boost more quickly. And jump here, and there's an auto scroller coming up. We hope we enjoy it. That was it. Jump over it. All right, so we kind of want to keep an eye on our rank because materials are a thing you collect in this game by clearing stages, and you get 4 materials if you S rank something, 3 if you A rank. And we're gonna be doing we're gonna do stages 4 times in Zone 1 and 4 stages in Zone 2, and we need to get at least 1 S rank somewhere in there for the material routing to work out. So I just need to keep an eye on my rank because I got an A rank on Act 1. All right, so the first boss is coming up, and it's actually a very difficult boss. I am speedrunning this in easy mode, and that makes the boss faster, but also harder. Contrary to popular belief, easy mode does not make the speedrun easier. Because on easy mode, you can actually... So, Ghost Rex is the first boss here. And... Oh, no, that's right. We can... There's two phases, an above ground and a below ground phase. And ideally, we one cycle him above ground, which is only possible in easy mode, and it's very difficult. So I need to get some perfect double hits here. And I need to get 5 bounces in a row without dropping it. Okay, we're good. Got the one cycle. And we can do the same thing on beneath the ground. In normal mode, you cannot one cycle him. It's flat out impossible. So normal mode is easier than easy mode. It's much harder to one cycle him on easy mode in this part here. Same idea, but he moves around a lot more. So. Okay. We'll see. Nice cinematic there. Okay. A little slow. Not sure if I'm gonna get it. Oh, maybe. Oh.
Yeah.
Holy moly. I do not get that in runs. Wow.
Very well done.
I do not get that in runs. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I could see why from like the complexity of the boss and the tight execution to make that work, I could see why you could enjoy parts of this game a lot better than Rush 1.
Yeah,
The
Rush bosses
in that game just aren't fun.
Rush bosses are, for all intents and purposes, autoscrollers.
Fair.
They're like random autoscrollers. They are not good. But Rush Adventure, they are difficult, but they are at least interactive. So, big plus there. Colors DS bosses are very, very quick. So, those are really... Right. And Colors DS is basically Rush 3, as an FYI for chat.
Heck yeah.
Quite literally the same mechanics, too. So, you don't have tricking, but a lot of like the physics exploits still are exactly the same. So this is a random layout. I kind of have to just make... I think we'll go ahead and boost it here. A little slow. Could have managed my boost a bit better, but it's fine. All right, Zone 2, Machine Labyrinth. Let the stage speak for itself because it's very cool and smooth, just like, you know, this game, because it's awesome.
Yeah. Chat actually just taking the opportunity as we get into another typical level to mention one of the things that I enjoyed most about these games, which is how well they use the transition across screens to increase the feeling of verticality and the sense of speed.
There's a lot of like mechanical intricacies that I'm taking advantage of. It's like one of the big things in this game is understanding how to break speed cap. So like you have your normal boost speed, but you can go faster than your boost speed. And the main way to do that is by either rolling downhill or landing on downhill slopes. That's so like a lot of times you'll see me like jump off of a loop or try to land on a downhill. Like right there, I just broke speed cap with that little jump there.
Yeah, and if your movement is solid, you can continue to preserve that momentum across future slopes.
Not as important for Sonic, but Blaze's boost is a lot slower than Sonic, so that's more important for her. Another thing this game does awesome, makes Blaze, level design, it accommodates for Blaze really well. I mean, Rush 1 does not.
No, you're right.
It unfortunately really doesn't. As much as I love that game. All right. We don't have Blaze unlocked yet, but we'll get to that point in a bit. Cool, got broke speed cap there for a bit. That's a little sloppy.
It may not have Hideki Naganuma, but it still has a lot to offer on its own rights, especially when it comes to the gameplay.
I'd like to say this game is just like one of the biggest criticisms of this game is definitely like the touchscreen minigame stuff or C-chart, which, you know, that's honestly understandable. But I would honestly say this game is kind of just better than Rush in terms of the actual gameplay, honestly. But both are awesome games, you know?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. The gameplay and design elements are more confident here. They had a better idea of what they were doing, how to use the format, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. They definitely really bolstered it up more. All right, almost done. Here we got a big jump coming up. Okay, and a small skip here. Very nice. That was good. All right, so Ghost Pendulum is a very random boss, but it's a boss where if you play it very cleanly, then no matter what kind of luck you get, you'll usually get a pretty sub minutes. Because the way that these balls swing around is random. So I need to just constantly be adapting which way they swing every time I hit them. Here we go. Eventually there's gonna be a yellow one coming up, yep. That one. Looking pretty good. We got some yellow one there. Wait. Now the red one's out. We can get this yellow hit really quickly. Comes back. Is that gonna hit? Come on, red one. Oh, okay. Let's see how I can. One more yellow hit should finish.
Close. There it is. No, not quite.
Okay, green should finish. Okay. That could have been better, but it wasn't too bad. All right.
I don't know about anybody else, but that's definitely what I did whenever I got one of those. Like, if you ever had an older family member who had those like clacker ball toys in their office somewhere,
I love
that was
those.
totally me with those all the time. I guess they're not really toys. They're supposed to be like meditation/relaxation tools, but if you were young, they were toys.
All right, so I need to redo a stage in Zone 1 and 2, because I mentioned before we need to get materials. Mm-hmm. And we need, I believe, how much is it? Oh crap, I don't remember off the top of my head. Basically, we need 13, I don't remember how the math works out. Basically, we need to do one stage again from each zone, just for the materials. Getting S rank 3 times in a row is not enough.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, so we do have to do a visit in both zones. And Act 1 is conveniently like the best act for both zones anyway.
Makes sense.
Oh,
it gives the viewer a good opportunity to be like, all right, now that I know what this game's about, what it looks like, how it moves, now I can
this
better
is
appreciate
not what's supposed to happen here. If I was Blaze, I'd be able to get back up there. Oh well. Oh well, it's fine. All right, hope you like autoscrollers.
Hey, if you've been watching all evening,
Missed it.
you've been feasting on autoscrollers up to this point with Yoshi's Island, so.
Yep. All right. And yeah, so we need to do Machine Labyrinth 1 as well. And this is the best time to do these because if we don't have Blaze unlocked, then every time you select a stage, you have to pick a character, and that's slow. So, and we're going to unlock Blaze soon, for story reasons.
Yep, makes sense.
So might as well just get this out of the way before she joins. Alright. I just have to say that this game just is so exotic too. Like that's kind of how I describe this game's aesthetic. Just exotic. And it fits really well because you're kind of exploring an island, a world that you've never been to before.
Yeah, they did a really good job
cool.
varying up designs. Like even the kind of more typical your jungle landscapes and what have you don't look a lot like they do in like the classic Sonic games. They don't really look like they do from the 3D games of this era. There's a lot of diversity here.
Almost done. All right. Got a bit of a hang glider here. Boosting. All right, not bad. Not bad at all.
No, indeed.
All right, so now we're gonna continue with the story. So we've progressed enough to have Tails build the sailboat. This sailboat can go a lot farther than the Wave Cyclone, which is the water bike thing. And basically, there's like a signal that we want to follow far off to the west. So we're gonna check out what's back there. But we can't go there with the Wave Cyclone, but now we can with the sailboat. I don't remember what the name. Ocean Tornado. There we go.
Yeah, that sounds like what Tails would call something.
Yeah. This is probably the most auto-scrollery of these boats because you can't really speed it up. One thing to note, though, it is very important to make sure you draw good paths. That's like you can lose like up to 10 seconds if your path is unoptimal. So touchscreen roll moments. So you better be good at drawing in this game. Or at least gotta practice it.
It's the one WarioWare moment. You have to connect one line to the other as smoothly as possible.
Yeah. In this case, I didn't go straight because if you look at the top screen of the map, you'll see some pink land. We cannot cross that. So I have to actively avoid that while trying to make as tight of a line as possible with the sailboat because it can't go over land or shores. But we're actually going to be encountering Johnny, who is like a villain, a side villain in this game. And this is mandatory, but he's kind of the equivalent for the special stages. So when you encounter Johnny on the sea chart, you race him for a Chaos Emerald. Then there are 7 locations you can encounter him on, and that's how you get the 7 Chaos Emeralds. This one's mandatory, which is good.
If he got all 7 Chaos Emeralds, would he turn into Super Johnny?
You know, I'm kind of curious what Super Johnny would look like, but I don't want to think about it because it's annoying.
That's fair. And yeah, usually the Chaos Emeralds do accentuate the character's most significant traits already. Like Sonic gets even cockier and more hyper-confident.
He really does.
Super Johnny would probably just be the worst.
Blaze goes even more on fire when she...
True. They call her Burning Blaze for a reason.
Right. So we got to race him for the Emerald. The Emerald itself is not mandatory, but doing the race itself is. And we can't quit. Well, you can quit, but if you quit, you have to redo the entire sailboat.
Okay, you shouldn't quit. Got it.
You don't quit. So it is faster. The fastest thing to do is just beat him as quickly as possible. The one minor thing about the Wave Cyclone that's not obvious is the more you move, the more you slow down. So you want to move as little as possible. So like when I'm stupid and I've IL'd every single one of these special stages with the Wave Cyclone. And they're basically frame wars.
Okay, yeah.
So that really matters, making sure you move as little as possible.
A time-honored tradition. See also the race against Johnny, of all people, in Chrono Trigger in the future.
Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I played that.
All right. Good, yeah, I mean, just like you did here, you let the enemy, use the enemy to your advantage. If they bump you ahead, you gratefully take those.
Yeah, so fun fact, a lot of people who played this game didn't know you can actually upgrade your vehicles.
That sounds like an easy way to make the game harder. Maybe a challenge category if you were into that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I routed the best ending category for this game, which is basically what it sounds like. Get all the Chaos Emeralds and Soul Emeralds, and then and that requires beating like the later Johnny races, which are stupidly hard to do if you don't upgrade your Wave Cyclone. So like a lot of people got super stuck on those because they didn't know you can upgrade it. But yeah, you can upgrade it. In fact, the current record, Speedbreaker 55, he does it without upgrading it because he's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. So this game has a lot of content to it. Like not even just like the standard like 7 zones, 2 acts, but there's also like a lot of mini stages like this. This is Hidden Island 1. There's 16 hidden islands. We're not obviously don't need to do all of them. We only have to do like the story mandatory ones. But yeah. The quick little stage. That is the stage where Blaze is faster than Sonic in, by the way. Fun fact. You want to take a guess how many stages Blaze is faster than Sonic in Sonic Rush 1?
None.
Close. 1. And that is with a glitch that she can skip a third of the stage. And she's still only about 2 seconds faster than Sonic. She's only barely faster with that glitch. It's so unfortunate. Like the stage design is so bad for Blaze, unfortunately. Sonic is still faster than Blaze on like every stage in this game, but like it's a lot closer in the game because it again accommodates for Blaze's abilities much better. But yeah, it's just so unfortunate for her.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the history of Blaze in Sonic games.
Yeah.
Great character, doesn't get the shine she deserves.
Just going fast is just really good. And it's all really especially awkward because in Rush 1, like Sonic is both more reliable and faster than easier. But Blaze is like the harder character and slower. So because like the majority of shortcuts you take, so I'll go into this for a bit, but there's this technique you can do called an RBJ, reverse boost jump. Like I'm doing it right there, where you have to like go backwards and jump off of a slope to get a lot of height. And Sonic's boost is a lot better than Blaze's. And that really impacts your RBG because that means you get a lot more speed and height out of those. And you do those a lot in Sonic Rush, which means Sonic is just the better character in terms of shortcuts. It's ironic. Blaze is supposed to be the shortcut character, but she isn't. But then in this game, though, this game's a lot better about it. All right. I want to hit that. Another RBJ there. Gonna happen randomly, no biggie. Got a cute little minecart here. Cute little autoscroller that's pretty cute, but doesn't overstay its welcome. Because this game is awesome. Alright. I was not supposed to jump there. We're good.
Nice.
I was mixing that up with Act 1, but it's fine.
Got it. Yeah, I can only imagine from even casually trying to get better at Sonic games and be more comfortable taking the top path, memorizing the kind of the shape of each map and the movements that you need to take is undoubtedly very difficult.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is also a very dense game to learn. So there's just a lot you do in a short period of time. That's kind of how I describe the Rush game in terms of learning them, the speedruns for them. All three of them, really.
Yeah, I believe it.
Right, cute little autoscroller here. Optimal path is left, right by like 1 frame. Doesn't really matter. But we don't mind. It's like a 10-second autoscroller. These are the autoscrollers I like. They're just very cute.
True. Yeah, it's good world building, and it's, hey, check out the stuff the DS can do in 3D.
Yeah, pretty much. They really wanted to show off the DS capabilities with the Rush games. They really, case in point, the boss. Okay, so this boss here is probably the biggest luck factor in the run because there is an exploit you can do that relies on getting a specific glitch, a specific pattern. So, okay, that's not what I want, but that's fine. Basically, we want to go into the underground phase, underwater phase. That's what we want. We want to make it angry. There we go. And now Ghost Kraken can do one of two things: a sweep or a slam. We want slam. We want the slam. That's what we want. 50-50. Okay, that is not the slam. Nope. So we are already losing a lot of time. One more chance. Nope. Nope. That's about 40 seconds of time lost. It is unfortunate, but that is life. Because if you get a slam, then you can instantly kill him.
Oh, wow.
By spin dashing in place, yeah. So it's unfortunate, but that's just how it goes sometimes. That's just how it goes. Not enough? Oh, man. I need to hit it one more time. Oh, man. Oh, that's unfortunate. So close. There we go.
Okay. At least it was the second. Oh, no, the other ones have to come down. Okay.
Yeah, and like you have to bring a boss to 1 HP and then do the fatal blow. That's how it works.
I see.
So now it's at 1 HP. Now I go the fatal blow. I have my splits running and I just lost 45 seconds.
Ooh, brutal.
Yeah, it is what it is. Crap happens.
Of course.
But that is like the most, probably like the big gatekeeper for runs of this game, at least in terms of luck. Like you can still lose like 15, 20 seconds if you get a second try slam pattern, but it's still workable. 40 seconds, yeah. But it is what it is. All right, so we just built a radio tower, which expands our search signal. We also just got Blaze. So basically, to catch you up on the story for a bit as I get ready to draw this path. Good. We entered Coral Caves, which is the third zone we just did, and we found the Jewel Scepter. Now, the Jewel Scepter apparently has some ability to like change the weather and stuff, and it can destroy the world. And these pirates, Johnny and Whiskers, kind of want it for no good reason. They're also robots. And then Blaze just came down and was like, "Stop right there! I'm gonna stop you." And then Sonic's like, "What the heck are you doing here? I thought you went to your world." And Blaze is like, "Wait, what are you doing here? This is my world." So we learned that we actually are in Blaze's world. And now Blaze has tagged along, and now we are on the quest to basically figure out where the pirates are, and also explore more. While Marine, the raccoon, who is like a 6-year-old kid, she's like, "I just want to go on adventures, yay! I'm a kid." Very adorable, by the way.
Yeah, you know, if Blaze is the analog for Sonic from another world, then Marine is the Tails.
Kind of, yeah. She's not exactly smart, but she's very
fair.
But yeah, she's a sidekick. All right, so we kind of need to visit that island, hit some plot triggers, and now we're gonna sail off of that island we just explored because now we unlocked the landing point. Now we're gonna go off to this flagged area. That is thankfully the last time we are gonna see the ocean tornado. this right here is sadly the last time we'll see the wave cycle, which is the coolest water vehicle. This is, again, this layout is random, so I need to kind of just improvise depending on the layouts I had.
It's the coolest vehicle in this run, but if you keep watching for the rest of tonight, there's going to be some Sonic Racing Crossworlds later on.
True. Great game.
Yeah, I've been having a blast with it so far.
We're getting very lucky with spring. Wow. Got max booster for a very long time. Might just... I think I'm gonna boost. And that was kind of the right call.
Yeah.
All right. Right. So now we just found a shipwreck, and now we get to see Blaze. Blaze is very well suited for this stage, because her tricks go really high and far. And she can also hover like that, which makes it great for crossing big distance stuff. Downside is that her boost is significantly slower than Sonic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's immediately obvious.
So Sonic is like technically faster for this stage than Blaze, but you have to do some ridiculously YOLO stuff to make it worth it. And like I think Speedbreaker, the record holder, he uses Sonic. Second place time also uses Sonic. I prefer using Blaze. And like this isn't shade at them, to be clear, but they also they made enough mistakes with Sonic that they actually lost all the time they would have saved. Which is why I'm like, yeah, I'm just using Blaze.
Look, at a certain point, once you start going for those kinds of strats and you get good enough and consistent enough at them, like that's where your muscle memory is at. That's what you know how to do.
But yeah, like Sonic's like strictly better than Blaze in this act. But in Act 1, there's like a really big skip that's really difficult with Sonic. But Blaze can do it pretty comfortably. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of vertical movement that we want to do here, which is where Blaze really shines. Now, Act 2, here we go. So this zone has these little gimmicks where you can enter some cannons, and you just saw one example where you kind of trick through some cannons. Those are for obvious reasons very slow. We want to avoid them. All right. Am I fine? Okay, I'm fine. And so we are ideally should not enter a single cannon here. We're gonna skip a cannon there. We just skipped one, and we just got a quick trick ability for Blaze. Now, Blaze's forward trick is affected by this because her forward trick works in a way where he goes really fast and it comes to a complete stop. But when she has a quick trick upgrade, she doesn't come to a complete stop like that. So sadly, you don't really see that exploit much, like at all. Ooh, there we go. That's a skip. There's like one small stage where that exploit is handy, but that's about it, really. So you don't really see much. That actually went pretty well.
Kind of wiggling Blaze back and forth at the end of there. Does that help extend the horizontal distance that she goes?
Yep. You can hover, and you can hover for a limited amount of time, but you can stagger it by mashing the R button to hover. And you go slower, but you stagger your horizontal way.
Got it.
Yeah, Blaze is actually nerfed in this game compared to Rush, by the way. It's just fun fact. Yeah, because like every time you initiate a hover with her in this game, she pauses in the air, but she doesn't do that in Rush. So her hover is just better in Rush.
Got it.
But because Rush's stage design
is friendlier to her, so
yeah, the level design is so much worse for in Rush. So like, at the end of the day, she's just a lot better. Despite that nerf. He is a lot better for some bosses, like this boss. Hitting that core is really annoying with Sonic. He's still annoying with Blaze. Get a fatal hit here. Come on. Okay, there we go.
Nice. I love the transition from taking the rigging back to the top screen.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was a super cool touch.
All right. So that was a short showcase of Blaze. We're going to go back to Sonic for a bit, but we'll see more Blaze later. Now we are going to go ahead and build a third water vehicle called the Aqua Blast. This is a hovercraft. It can go even farther, and it can go over shores. And now we kind of have a bit of non-linearity, sort of, where we can either go north to explore the Ice Tribe, or we can go south to explore the Wind Tribe. Doesn't really matter for speedrun purposes which one you do. Though the game's canon order is Ice Tribe, then the Ice Zone, and then the Sky Zone.
And to all
So
that,
go
I say,
first.
Eat your heart out, Mario Odyssey. Sonic Rush did it first.
It truly did. That's not a great path, but we'll make it work. So yeah, the Aqua Blast, again, you can't really speed it up per se, because you just keep constantly forward, and you can charge that meter up in the upper right corner by holding the touchscreen. You can also deflect stuff by doing a barrel roll by either wiggling the touchscreen or using the, what's it called, the L or R button, depending on your aim. But basically, you can't really save time, but you can lose time.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yep. Getting hit loses you time, and deflecting stuff with your barrel roll also loses. But it is better. The best thing to do is to dodge. If you can't dodge, you want to deflect it, because that still loses you less time than getting hit. You kind of need to take... This is kind of a pseudo autoscroller that you do need to like actually actively pay attention. So it's... Yeah, it's kind of an autoscroller, but it is one where you have to be active in it. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's more like giving yourself a break once you are used to it, once you know how to draw the line, once you know how to use the mechanics. But until then, it probably keeps you just as active as the rest of the run.
These layouts are random, so I have to like constantly be on my toes and
Got it.
get them. Okay. Oh, I'm surprised I dodged those. That was close. Okay. So we're gonna play Ice Cap Zone from Sonic Adventure.
Ooh.
And there's a bit of a cool little exploit where if you do a forward trick on a snowboard without a direction, you just go really fast right here.
Nice.
Why? I don't know, but I'm not complaining. Right. They're gonna see a bit more of that soon. It's hard to see how fast you're really going unless you look at the bottom screen while I'm like eating like stuff like that. All right. Do it again. Carry all that speed. Oh, that's fine. You need to do a blind jump here because this thing is in the blind spot between. So that's one thing about this game. To ensure that when you transition from the bottom to the top or vice versa, smoothly on the actual hardware, there is a blind spot between the two screens. And sometimes that can kind of get in the way when speedrunning. Sure. That's it. So it's not a big deal, you just have to be wary of it. There's gonna be a platform in Act 2 that I also need to land on in the blind spot. All right, so we're gonna do more Ice Cap Zone from SADX. You're gonna see why I'd say that. Got some ice slides here. And some icicles, just like Sonic Adventure. Except we go through them really quickly.
It's a clever adaptation of a familiar mechanic into a different perspective.
Yep. Although, to be fair, we all watch speedruns. Like, do you ever see that in SADX speedrun?
Right. I think you see a skybox for a very long time and then you fall back into a level.
Right. That 1-up capsule is a full max boost capsule in time attack mode, by the way. So time attack mode strats kind of differ a little bit sometimes because like 1-ups are useless in time attack mode. So what they do in time attack mode is they replace all 1-up capsules. That was relevant in Haunted Ship 2 actually, as well, which I would have really appreciated, but we're not in time attack mode. Gonna do a bit of a skip because slides are slow. Not bad at all. All right, and now we have a very interesting boss here. So this boss is kind of an obstacle course boss, where we have to enter its mouth and do a bit of a not boostless platforming section with a time limit, and we have to do that 3. So this pretty much just tests your understanding of how to like actually platform in this game without boost. All right.
I was about to say eat your heart out Mario Sunshine, but I'm pretty sure Sunshine got there first.
Yeah, I think it did. It absolutely did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did talk about speed cap, breaking speed cap, but there's like another mechanic that goes side by side with that called speed storage. So like whenever you're going fast, you can keep all the speed you're going at as long as you are always holding the right button. Come here. So when I do these like little spin dashes and cross the ground with these air dashes, I'm holding right the entire time to store my speed from the spin dash, basically. And I messed that up there, so bad demonstration there. There we go. There's one there.
Yeah, so it basically looks you're keeping ground speed despite going over the gaps.
Well, after that, I kind of butchered it after the explanation, but yeah, it's fine. Same thing applies to just breaking speed cap with boost. Like if you break speed cap by rolling downhill or something like that, you can keep all that speed
Holding
as long
the
as you.
button and you'll maintain that momentum.
Yeah, it's just easier said than done because like a lot of times you want to like land on a small platform, but you can't let go of right. So you can't adjust horizontally. You have to adjust purely by your jump height, stuff like that. And last section here.
I mean, the hedgehog himself says it. You've got to go fast.
Yep. Well, we're at
There is
0
no
ranks. This
alternative in
is
Sonic
not
World.
uncomfortable at all. All right. Well, that could have been better, but fine. Fine. Boop.
Nice.
That's the fatal blow. All right, so we are done with basically 5 zones in the game. Got 2 zones left in the story. Again, we're pretty much just exploring the world while trying to look for the pirates that want the Jeweled Scepter. Now we're gonna go to the Sky area. Ooh, that's bad. Fine. We can be a bit more aggressive with our path with the Aqua Blast because the sailboat can't cross shores, but the Aqua Blast can. So if you look at the top screen, you kind of see all that like tan, beach-like colors-like stuff. That's all shore. And because we're using a hovercraft, we can cross it. The wave cyclone can cross it, but the sailboat can't. The 4th vehicle also cannot, and that's actually going to be relevant for routing purposes. The late portion. Game has good vibes.
What happens if you do route across that terrain in a vehicle that doesn't take it well? Does it just slow way down, or?
Tails is like, we need to reroute, and you have to redo it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you do not want to hit any, crash into anything at all. Very bad. He goes like, what the frick are you doing? We crashed.
You lose
Thanks,
a bunch
Tails.
of time, and you get chastised by Tails. Yeah, nobody wants.
Exactly. Whoever wants to be chastised by Tails, oof.
I mean, depending on what game and how he's written, you could almost argue that Knuckles kind of wants that sort of, like, it just happens so often, you'd think he's setting Tails up for it, but
Oh my goodness.
probably still not intentional.
Right. We got to do this twice. We're pretty much hitting plot triggers. So we got this island set up as stop point, but now we're going to go straight to that marker.
Gotcha.
And we're pretty much going to unlock the path to Sky Babylon, which is like the Sky Tribe Island. But to do that, we need to get to the grounded island, then unlock it by doing another small hidden island. Again, as a reminder, hidden islands are like mini stages. There are 16 of them. We only have to do the first 5 to any run. Fun fact, if you find hidden island number 16, it is a copy of the first stage from Sonic Rush. Very cute reference.
That's nice. I like
Yeah. It's very cute.
Yeah, while we're making our way through this auto-scroller, I want to talk about another community that, much like fast-paced events who I mentioned earlier, another community that I'm pretty sure really likes Sonic, because Sonic loves them. This is Black in a Flash, a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, offering a space to collaborate on speedruns, challenge runs, and randomizers while celebrating Black voices in the speedrunning scene. You can learn more or apply to join at gdq.gg/BAF and follow at blackinaflash.bsky.social for updates. Their upcoming events are Speeding Through the Holidays, December 27th and 28th, and Back to Black 2026 on February 5th, which is now accepting prize submissions at gdq.gg/PTB26-prizes.
No one saw that, by the way.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. No one saw anything.
They were too
No
busy
one saw
going to the
anything.
website and learning more about Black in a Flash. But yeah, no, I've seen a couple of my friends who are Black in a Flash community members talking about the Sonic and Shadow Timberlands, which is part of why I thought about it. Have you
Oh
seen
my
those?
goodness. I have not.
Ooh, you definitely
Speedbreaker
could take a
is part of Back in the Flash community, I believe, as well, though.
Got
Speedbreaker
it.
is the record holder for all the Rush games.
Very cool.
Yeah, I actually messed this up, but fine. There, we're playing as Blaze in Sky Babylon, because a pretty vertically oriented stage. Again, technically Sonic is like actually faster than Blaze, but not by much, and Blaze is generally just a lot more reliable. I'm using Blaze here. Also some banger music. This stage should have been in Sonic Generations 3DS, by the way.
Yeah.
But they used Tropical Resort instead, but it is what it is. Because this stage would have been a fantastic like last zone in the game. I speedrun Sonic Generations 3DS. Shocker because of the Sonic handheld 16. Very fun game as well. All So we're gonna fall on the slope and just break speed cap, and we're gonna keep this broken speed cap all the way through, ideally. That's... You wanna stagger to hover there and keep speed cap broken in place. Like, she's going almost as fast as Sonic's right there. But by her standards, very fast. Because her boost is notably slower. Alright. Now we need to spin down here to break speed cap. But hopefully we cleared that jump. We did not, that's okay. You need to make a tight jump here. This jump is incredibly tight with Sonic. Again, big reason why you want to use Blaze. Cool background stuff. Yeet. Oh, whoops. And there we go. Act 1.
Nice.
Time for Act 2. I have some visual cues here. I want to jump when I see that robot at the bottom. And we're going to roll down here, and we want to hit these boost pads coming up soon. Because when you hit a boost pad in this game, not super intuitive. So roll down here and hit that boost. I didn't hit it. That's fine. When you hit a boost pad, basically the game locks your speed. You cannot decelerate. You cannot turn around, which can be good, which can also be bad. So like for the next like 1 or 2 seconds, you basically, if you hit a boost pad, you basically can't turn left. And you also retain all that speed because you can't decelerate in the opposite direction.
Right.
So like,
It's like
if you hit a boost pad,
where all you have is the ability to change when your jump is. So the boost pads are definitely one of those.
Like if you hit a boost pad going right, but you need to like turn left, you do not want to hit the boost pad. But in Blaze's case, like there's like a boost pad that goes uphill to the right, and it's advantageous for her to hit that because she can't decelerate while going uphill, so she can keep her speed broken speed. So like, just minor things like that where it makes it cool. So like if you understand how boost pads work in this game, they can be good, but sometimes you want to avoid them too. Just really depends. A little bit of a gimmick here. And this boost pad mechanic I just talked about applies to all 3 Rush games, including Colors DS, because Colors get DS.
True.
Not exaggerating. So right here, we're gonna hit the boost pad. I can't turn around until now, and we're gonna hit a different pass hopper to get on the wrong room layer to save about 1 second. Now we have to climb this. It's very scary. This will always be scary to me, even though I've done it so many times. Because that orb cannot touch anything at all. All right, we're good. Shortcut here, RBJ, got it. All right, so now we have probably the hardest boss in the speedrun here. So we kind of basically just need to get up to the boss and then trick into the hitbox as much as possible. Ideally, 2 cycles typically that's a good fight. And this boss is like the big reason to use Blaze, because her trick is just amazing for this boss, except I just fell down.
God, the extra launch distance you were talking about, yeah, it works in all dimensions, such as it were.
I was not supposed to fall down that early, but
I see.
Oh, fine. Go vertically. Okay. Well, not going super well, but that's okay.
You see the general idea, and we're going to get at least one of these good cycles if you want. I'm confident.
Someday. Come on. Get it. Okay, I'm going to go for it. At 0 rings. No! Oh. We got so much damage there, too. That's kind of what you want. You kind of want to, like...
It was going really well until it wasn't.
Kind of want to try to get stuck beneath it and just repeatedly trick into the gem over and over and over again.
I see.
Like that. We got like 3 fast hits there. I'm not gonna. There. Okay, we got some pretty good damage on this cycle though. Not too bad. Ideally, I'll finish him off right here. Well, ideally I don't die, but that's neither here. There. This isn't going super well, not gonna lie. All right.
No worries. You did say it was the hardest boss.
This is the hardest boss. And I'm not super in practice because it turns out juggling 16 speed games is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I believe it.
Right. The boss also just moves really erratically, so it's just really hard to like try to get a good setup where we can get a lot of consecutive hits. When it shoots a missile, that's when it's super consistently like its angle is going to be consistent. You can get a lot of
Stay in place
hits
for a little bit. Gotcha.
All right, we're getting to the last segment of the game. We are going to unlock the last vehicle, the Deep Typhoon. And this is a submarine, so it can go underneath stuff.
Okay, yeah, I can appreciate now why hitting shoreline in this would be a very bad idea.
We can't go through shorelines though with this.
Right.
That's going to become relevant. But for now, this is like this vehicle minigame looks really slow, but no, it is. This vehicle is so fast. It was not going to look fast on the map, but it is incredibly. Like you pretty much want to use it as much as possible, as long as you can. All right. We have to draw a really tight path here to make this. Get to the top here. That should work. All right. Hope you like Osu. Because this is Osu.
If you know anything about me, it's that I love us.
I love rhythm games, period. I do not mind.
True. Definitely one of the things I'm always looking forward to most at the GDQ mainline events, both to watch people who are obscenely talented at them,
oh my
and
God,
to get to play them myself in the arcades.
I think like whenever I go to GDQ, there's almost always someone in the practice room doing ridiculous stuff like Guitar Hero and stuff. I'm like, oh my God.
True. Yeah, there's
so much respect.
And then there's like, especially if you're there late night hours, you will probably catch Sent doing wizard things in the arcade.
That sounds like sense.
Yep.
You're supposed to stop by another island, but I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've done this casually. So we're actually going to find a pirate's hideout. So we're actually approaching the last zone, but I'll go over the plot for a bit. But they're basically like, oh, you can't enter our hideout without the keys. And because classic like kids game fashion, they're like, oh, but there's like 3 keys you need to find, and blab about it. So we learn about the 3. So here they are. We blab about it, and now we need to kind of do a bit of a fetch quest. Find it. And the game kind of, you kind of see like dark spot, another dark spot there. The game kind of just points it out to you. Kind of funny, but which is fair. They don't want people to like scour the entire world for it. Game. So we basically need to just go through the 3 islands. Every island has like a small stage we need to clear, and then we grab a key when we clear it. You can visit these islands early if you stumble upon them, and you'll find a key, but Tails is gonna be like, we don't know what this is for. Let's drop it. So it's really dumb because like you could totally route these in on the way during the main story, save time, but you can't do that.
Up, Sonic, you don't know where it's been.
You don't know where it's been. So if you do that, like before you activate the quest, then you have to redo the stage after activating it. Of course. So, yeah. All right, Hidden Island 3. This is the Sonic stage. A little bit of going fast here. Some airborne tricks. So break speed cap there. Keep speed cap broken there. Good, we're going a lot faster here. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so now we're gonna do one of my favorite contributions to the speedrun here. We're gonna use the Aqua Blast. I said this would be relevant. Why? There's a shore we're crossing right here with the Aqua Blast. Whereas if we try to take the Deep Typhoon, the submarine, we have to go around the shore because we can't go underwater. We need shores. This saves, and you see if you look at the top map, you see how if we took the Deep Typhoon, you have to go all the way around that shore, and it's just a much longer path. Yeah, this saves 1 second. Yeah, that's how fast the Deep Typhoon is. Like, you have to take such a big detour, but a Deep Typhoon is still like almost as fast as just cutting across. Like, it's just ridiculous how fast a Deep Typhoon is.
Sure.
But yeah, This is one of my favorite route changes because it's like, wow, yeah, I saved 1 second by doing this dumb idea of using a weaker vehicle. Take a shortcut, and it saves 1 second.
Any second to the speed run is a second worth saving.
It is time save. It's like, oh my god, these are angry. Yikes.
And these are not time saved, as it turns out.
No, these are not time saves. All right, Hidden Island 4. This is a coral cave-like stage, kind of like Zone 3. All right, so boost management is really tight in this stage, so I'm going to generally play it really safe and take this hook instead of doing an RBJ. RBJ is on hooks. Those hooks save a lot of time. Also, I kind of really need extra boost. So another RBJ here. That's the RBJ there, and I missed it, so I'm dead.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you're on a rail, you can't boost back. You can't RBJ off of it if you're going too fast. So you need to just have the right amount of speed. Make sure you're going slow enough, because I'm trying to boost to the left, basically, like that. So here, there we go. Nope. Okay, I hit the point. Okay, well, I'm not dead. There's an RBJ. That's what I'm supposed to do. And last RBJ of the stage. And there we go. This is
many
the
games
last
have
bonus segment.
many games have backups that are like, oh yeah, okay, I can go to this other pixel and do this separate setup for this. Your backups here are all just about like being confident in your movement and your ability to use the mechanics, which is you
gotta be super confident. Like honestly, running like pretty much any Sonic game, but especially the rush games, it's just all about confidence, really.
Fair.
Playing the game a lot. Like this is my favorite rush game by far. I do think Colors DS is kind of a bit more my run, but Rush Adventure holds a very special place in my heart. Just in general. But like I'm mostly known for running the Sonic Advance games, which is like where I'm strongest at, all 3 games. But Rush Adventure for me is like up there with them personally in terms of Rush.
That's awesome.
Game's awesome. Colors DS and Rush I do like a lot, of course. Well,
Sure.
Also, Blaze is cool, and we all love
When
cats.
did you first get into this game?
Like 10 years ago.
Okay.
I think it's like been like almost 10 years. I ran Rush 1 at GDQ 2019, 2018, something like that.
Sounds right.
And that was like way, and I learned all 3 games like quite a bit before that. It's probably been like point. Also, cats are awesome.
True.
But yeah, I'm gonna be running Sonic Rush at HGDQ, and I know this is gonna be the hot thing, but donate for Sonic. Sonic deserves love. I know Sonic has like never won a single bid war, a character bid war, but also donate for Sonic. Blaze is awesome, don't get me wrong, but I'll be a little honest that if I get Blaze wins, it's gonna be like 90% the same run as 7 years ago.
Fair.
But Blaze is still very cool. But Sonic is also very cool. So donate for Sonic. Or Blaze. I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, it's for charity, so hey. Also, the cool, very important little puzzle that we just solved. Okay. This is a stage, this is a zone where Blaze is like super safe. Right. This is a zone where Blaze is like really safe, but I've gotten confident enough recently. Like I used to use Blaze for the zone back in the day, but now I use Sonic. He's more dangerous for sure, but I'm confident and consistent enough where I can use him. He saves about 10 seconds per act over Blaze. It's a pretty significant time save to use him over Blaze in this case. And pretty doable not casually, to do Sonic threats without dying. Well, okay. So we're in the last zone, Pirates Hideouts. A little low on boots because I messed up my trick routing. One of the interesting things about this game is that tricking works very differently in this game compared to Rush. In my opinion, better. Because like you can get like trick combos that you can build up, and when you finish a trick, you get extra boost. So you see that number that's going up, that's just me like executing tricks. In Rush, you get significant boost for individual tricks. And you get a little bit more for finishing a trick, but not that much. So in other words, Rush kind of just encourages you to mash and not
Trick
care.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Rush Adventure is the opposite, where you get basically nothing for individual tricks. But if you finish a trick successfully, you get very, very, very heavily rewarded. which is very good, I think, because it means like you get incredibly rewarded if you know how the trick system works instead of just mindlessly cashing. Whereas like Rush doesn't really reward you because you don't really get much boost out of finishing crit. But this game does give you a lot more boost if you know what you're doing. Colors, yes, has no tricking at all, but it's just a completely different game in that sense. All right. Speed cap. Keep it going and messed up the start a bit. That's okay. And Act 2. This is the dangerous act. So there's a lot of auto scrollers here where you're supposed to ride Dolphin, and we're gonna skip almost all of them.
Heck yeah.
Actually,
that's what I like to hear.
Up a little bit. So the auto scroller skip. I'm really low on boost. I don't think I can do this. Oh no, absolutely not. All right, that's okay. I'm gonna build up a little bit of boost here because I kind of need it. Oh, that's not there. Okay. Try it again. Is that enough? Yes, it is. Okay. I'll show you what the stage is supposed to look like when done cleanly.
Here.
Oop. Auto scroller skip, and another auto scroller here. We're gonna skip. There we go.
Nice.
That's what that looks like. Of course, much easier with Blaze because you cover Lamau, but Sonic, it's not as tight as it looks, but like I'm probably like 70% consistent at it. I have to put a number to it, which is not super consistent, but not that bad. You can kind of see a lot of spots where like Blaze would just be really nice, but not faster. Because, yeah, that's just how the stage kind of works. She's very nice for reliability, not faster than Sonic. Although, this is one spot where Blaze is strictly faster than Sonic because she can outright skip this and Sonic can't.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus in the game's favor for accessibility in terms of like, hey, if you aren't as confident if you don't want to go to the umpteenth with doing the tricks on the stage, you can take a character who is naturally better at moving in it the way that the level wants you to.
Yeah, again, I'm not to beat a dead horse, but man, this game is so much more accommodating for Blaze. Blaze is awesome in this game. There's like a category that I made called All Islands where you basically just go through time attack mode of every single stage, including small stages, and you pick whichever character you just prefer per stage.
Yeah.
Whereas in like this category, if you pick a character for his own, you're committed to that character.
I see.
So it's a little bit different, yeah. Like Sky Babylon, I'd probably use Sonic for one of those stages if I could pick, and then Blaze for another stage and the boss itself. I would also pick Blaze for this boss if it were up to me, but since I picked Sonic for the stages, I'm committed to Sonic for the entire way. So this boss is kind of a crapshoot. Lots and lots of luck. So we have to beat up 2 bosses, and Whiskers, the big red guy, has a lot more health and a lot more attacks to make him vulnerable. So we want to prioritize him. He is generally the bottleneck. Now, I've locked him in a corner, and that's important because whenever he does that butt slam attack, he normally jumps really high to do it. And he's invulnerable the entire time. But by locking him in a corner, when he does the butt slam attack, it gets cut short. Now that's an attack you don't want to see because you can't really do anything about it. When you do their team work. Yeah.
Buzzsaw getting in on the action.
Yeah. Oh, he turned around so he can start getting knocked left. That's fine. We got our time save from a butt slam. He's not doing much butt slamming right now. One other thing in all 3 Rush games, the more you get hit, the farther your rings fly, by the way. So trying to tank everything with just one ring is not going to work long term. But this game actually has like a system to prevent just forever tanking with one ring. IMO is good.
Almost done on one boss here. There we go.
Yep. Johnny's almost dead. Like we have not focused on Johnny like at all, and he's already almost dead because he just has.
Yeah, because he kept jumping in on you. It was like, all right, we'll hit you while you're here. Why not?
All right.
Very nice.
Not too bad. And now time will be coming up after the next boss. So Yep. And now we have to fight Whisker and Johnny in this giant robot that's totally not made. That Eggman totally didn't make. That's the true ending, by the way. And we're using Blaze. So you're supposed to knock back the boss's attacks to break his barriers, but you can also just take damage yourself to break it. Save time. And it'll be very obvious why I'm using Blaze. Yeah, that's it. Sonic can do that, but it's a lot less reliable, and there's like no real benefit to use Sonic boss. So this is the Blaze show.
As this whole game should have been.
As this whole game should have been, you know?
Didn't quite work out that way.
Cats are pretty cool.
We'll get a Blaze-centric game someday, believers.
Someday. He's in Sonic and the Black Knight. Hey. He's also in Sonic 06.
Right. I said we'll get a Blaze-centric game.
I know you said centric.
Yeah, where Blaze is like the character you want to play throughout the game.
All right, let's see. Like, this is a very volatile boss, as you can tell. Okay, there's a cannon on the left side, and I got lucked out because the boss, damn it, destroyed the left cannon's barrier already for me, so I can just go in on it immediately. That's nice. Yeah, this boss is like very random, but like if you do the right things, you're usually not gonna vary by. You're usually not gonna lose like one. Because that's the volatile boss. Do the right thing. Much. Right, last hit is coming up. That was really good, honestly. This might be a gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love to finish strong.
Right. Time.
GG's.
GG. Let's go. Blaze the Cat is awesome. Sonic, you weren't there. What are you doing, Sonic? And peace out. Game's awesome. Play it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If people want to see more runs like this, we did tell them at the beginning about a special event where they'll be able to see a lot of runs for you. You want to talk about that some more again?
Yeah. So if you missed it at the start, I've been working on a project since last December to do a speedrun of all 16 Sonic handheld games. And if you follow my channel, you'll see me do like streams of like Sonic speedruns. I'm currently focusing on Lost World 3DS, underrated game by the way. But occasionally doing other games like Game Gear games and Pocket Adventure as well. The actual event is going to be on my channel on December 13th, 7 a.m. The ETA is about 11 hours, and I'm going to be doing a speedrun of Sonic 1 Game Gear, Sonic 2 Game Gear, Sonic Chaos, Triple Trouble, Blast for Game Gear, Pocket Adventure, all 3 Sonic Advance games, Rush Adventure, what you just saw, Colors DS, Rivals 1, Rivals 2, Generations 3DS, and Lost World 3DS. So I'm going to be doing a run of all 16 of those games in one go in about a month from now. And if you also just like watching Sonic runs in general, definitely hit the follow button and check it out, because I'm going to keep going in on Sonic, because Sonic speedruns are fun.
Heck yeah.
But
and then
yeah.
Wednesday, January 7th at AGDQ.
Yeah, I'm going to be running Sonic Rush at AGDQ. Donate for Sonic, but hey, if you donate for Blaze, that's okay too, because it's for charity. Definitely want to give a shout out to Wither as well, who's going to be doing Sonic Adventure Dreamcast run in AGDQ. I think their run is Monday. Yeah, I think their run is on Monday.
Yep,
Dreamcast
Monday,
speedrun.
Yeah, I've had the great fortune of seeing that recently. It is super sick.
Very unique. But yeah, I want to also give a shout out to a tree. Don't know how to.
No
a tea tree, right? Yeah. I always read your name, but I've never like pronounced.
No, that's
But-
fair. And most people see it. It's kind of a Rorschach test at this point, especially when you see it all at once. A lot of people come up with Ada Tree instead. To the point where I'm
Tree?
just like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. That works too. I answer to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks
no,
for
my
having
sincere
me.
pleasure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because a teacher reached out to me after the Passion Show run, and they were like, "Yeah, do you want to do a Rush Adventure run?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down. This game's awesome."
It's like your marathon, such as it were, hasn't happened yet. Would you like to advertise again?
I mean, I'm not going to say no, honestly. Like, I'll say that. But thank you very much for inviting me over and demonstrating this. Being an awesome host as well.
Hey, my sincere pleasure. Thank you so much for everyone who's been watching this evening. The evening, of course, is not over. Coming up next, there's going to be even more Mario and Sonic action with Creature Corner coming up after the break.